Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode 207. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here. Actually, Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with.
Uh, a very tired James Hebert who just woke up
Yeah.
from his slumber.
So that's why James is going to be very unresponsive, like, throughout the first probably half of the video. So.
Probably, yeah, probably, because I'm still trying to do this thing called wake up,
Yeah.
even though I'm woken up, but I'm not actually awake yet.
Yes. So, yeah,
So,
let's
hi.
let's talk about why there's been some recent inactivity. I remember I talked about I was going to try to be more active on YouTube. It actually is it was working, but technology just has been failing me lately. So, we actually
Yeah,
we recorded literally the 2 days after Revolution. We recorded like a review, and we did a rundown like doing stuff, and then like 40 minutes into the video, the audio just cut out. You couldn't hear any of us. So basically, the Revolution review is as if it's like the unsanctioned lights out match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. It's as if it didn't even happen. Um,
hmm
so that's why. And then obviously, there's just my sleep schedule's been off, so it's been tough to watch the shows and stuff. So that's why you're getting all this stuff now. So, um,
yeah.
if you want to know what we're covering from now on, it's going to be in the description and pinned in the comments, so that way I don't have to go over it each time. It just saves some. It just saves time and everything. So let's start first with the first topic of the video. Pause. All right, so we're gonna do a quick recap of Revolution, like very quick, just because like it's been a couple weeks now. Actually, almost a
All right.
month now.
You want it to be very quick?
Yeah,
I can do it. The show was fantastic right up until the very end where everything went awry
yeah,
and we did not get no boom.
yeah. I'll give it if you want. I'll give like a quick match by match breakdown. Yeah. So the buy-in match, I believe it was Maki Ito and Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa and Riho. It was supposed to be
Let's pretend that match never happened because Maki Ito was in it.
sure. Yeah, I'm actually fine with that. Um,
Okay, cool.
because I think Rebel was supposed to be in it, and the finish was kind of trash too because like Thunder Rosa lot like no one really could afford a loss, so it was kind of like they kind of
Yeah,
booked themselves into a
that
problem.
was good booking. Yeah.
Yeah. But why don't we just break down the women's title match too? The match was good, just not the match I thought it needed to be after that crap tournament we got. Um,
Yeah, it was a good match, so you can't blame the woman involved.
yeah,
Thunder Rosa should have won this whole fucking thing and won the goddamn title.
absolutely.
And I don't care what anybody wants to tell me. If Thunder Rosa could have made Britt Baker into a better wrestler, you needed that on your fucking roster.
Yeah.
Um, no question about it. You should have been able to do more with that.
And then
So that was a missed opportunity.
absolutely. Everything else on the everything else on the show was pretty damn fantastic. Like we said up until the end. We had the tag title match, the Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF. That was very good. Really liked
Yeah,
this. I thought the styles meshed well. The Young Bucks one, which was obviously going to happen, and then obviously it led to later on in the night where the Inner Circle said they were going to have that War conference on Dynamite that week.
which was the one of the best segments Dynamite's ever aired.
We'll talk about that when we,
It's, yeah,
yeah, we'll talk about that later. And then there was a hint that MJF says what's gonna. I forget the quote because it's been like a month, but he said like there's gonna be a change in the Inner Circle for the better, like where we thought Jericho was gonna kick Dick out, but there was more to it than that. And then
oh yeah.
the next match was the tag team battle royal. I really liked that battle royal. It was basically like a Royal Rumble, like a tag team Royal Rumble, pretty much.
I think they had to do it that way because it would have been too confusing to have teams come out in the way they usually do Casino Royals. So
Yeah. Uh,
there you go.
some highlights in the match was seeing I mean for me seeing Luchasaurus just kick ass because I'm a Luchasaurus smoke. So and obviously in this match, now that we know, it actually launched a feud between Bear Country and Jurassic Express. So I thought that was kind of good. That was good right there. Um, and then
I agree.
Jungle Boy looked really good in this match. This is where we got the QT Marshall like heel turn because I believe he eliminated like the Gun Club or something, and he got upset about it and eliminated himself.
Like the start, the slow heel turn.
Yeah, which we'll talk about, and then I'm trying to make. I think that's like I think that was the key moments of the match. It came down to Pac versus I believe it came down to Ray Phoenix versus Jungle Boy. And Ray Phoenix eliminated Jungle Boy. It was either Pac versus Jungle Boy or Ray Phoenix versus Jungle Boy.
No, it was Ray Phoenix and Jungle Boy.
And Ray Phoenix
went fucking ham, by the way.
Yeah. So that Battle Royal was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Then I believe it was Heyman Adam Page versus Matt Hardy. That was a very good match. I thought it told a really good story.
Page won.
Yeah, Page won.
Yeah, should have been.
Via the Dark Order interference, which meant that he got all of Matt Hardy's Q1 earnings. It did kind of suck. This is just in hindsight now that like the Q1 was April 1st because they couldn't really do as much as I wanted them to do with it. But you know, it's cute. Like I wish the Q1 Jordan was later, but obviously they probably want to have the timeline of that be legit, so that's fine. But I like that, you know, the Dark Order made sense to interfere in the match because obviously that led to the feud we have now, which we'll talk about. Then we had the ladder match, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. The match was great. The only thing that wasn't good about it was, you know, obviously the focus of Cody Rhodes' injury and the fact that they kept like focusing on it. Everything else in the match was pretty great other than that. And then obviously
and that's not even on the fault of Cody, I don't think anymore. That's on the fault of fucking the camera crew.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, because we're probably not going to talk about it all that much, someone who's been impressing me a lot lately, I was pretty harsh on him when I first saw them, but maybe not his partner, but Max Caster's been really impressive lately. He is really good. Like,
I'm out of that, man. Max Caster is a fucking star on the rise.
I'm starting to like his raps a lot more now. I can't really. I mean, obviously, maybe Anthony Bowens is going to impress me, but I think he's been hurt, so he hasn't been able to do anything. So right now it's just Max Caster who's impressing me because he's the one that's been on TV more right now. So
I can't wait to see those two just be a good tag team.
Yeah, absolutely. Goes on. And then Scorpio Sky won, and if you think about it now, like he kind of won in a heel way, which would kind of tie into Dynamite, the following episode.
Very good.
And then it was the women's match. We already kind of talked about that. And then I believe it was the cinematic match with the Team Taz, which was Cage and Stokes versus Stin and Darby Allin. That was awesome.
Best match of the whole show.
That match is a match I really can't talk about all the match. Just go watch it. That's kind of what I have to say about it. And then
Sting and Darby win, but it was crazy.
Yeah, definitely watch the entrance too. Because that is online somewhere, like for free.
That was directed all by Darby, by the way.
Yeah. You know. And then now, the main event. Let's just talk about the match first. I thought the match actually was very good. Actually, even great, even fantastic. I really liked how they used the stip. I talked about it before. I want to make sure I make note of it again. I liked how they protected the one-win angel. Probably prevented that from getting kicked out of, where Moxley used ignited the explosive to get Kenny Omega to release the move. I thought that was a really nice touch. And then I wish Omega could have won like without Gallows and Anderson. He's been winning without them lately, so I'm not going to complain about it as much. And then obviously we know what the finish was. They're trying to make up for it, but you know shit happens. I mean, literally, we're an example of this. There's times we have a perfect show, or there's times where we have shows that audio cuts out midway through, and we can't do anything about it. So, you know. And that's why I'm getting this lazy ass review of Revolution right now. So
pretty much, yeah, because I can't be asked to cover this spot for spot again. So there you go. That was Revolution.
If you want to grade, it's an A-.
A-, yeah.
So, let's go through everything that's been going on. You're gonna get like a full on effort now. Like, let's go through everything that's been going on with Dynamite and stuff lately. Pause.
So we'll just do it for that.
All right, let's talk about what's been going on AEW as of late. I wrote down some big stuff to talk about.
The first thing we should probably talk about is the one thing we forgot to talk about in the Revolution review. They signed 2 new people. One being All Ego Ethan Page, the other one being Christian Cage.
Yep.
Which is fucking insanity.
Why don't we talk about Christian Cage? I know Ethan Page is a big deal, but I think Christian Cage is the bigger deal since. So when we should talk about I guess there was some backlash from it because a lot of people were expecting someone bigger to sign.
Listen, I'm not even gonna give these fucking morons the dignity to fucking even have that time of day. Listen to Paul White's fucking speech again, and then fucking get pissed off. Come talk to me then. That's all I gotta say. I'm not even gonna fucking entertain these fucking morons that want to be pissed off just for the sake of being pissed off because they can't think and be a fucking rational human being. Just skip past that part.
I'm not going to respond to that, but I think a lot of people were disappointed because they wanted to see an Edge and Christian reunited in WWE. I personally think this is the better route because, one, I want to say WWE.
Christian would have been dead to rights if he showed back up in WWE, whereas in Christian Cage and AEW would have had a lot more steam, a lot more fresh matchups, a lot more fresh talent to work with, a lot more of a fucking story than he's just Edge's buddy.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they would have told with Christian. He would have... Right. Let's think of the person who came in before Christian, right? Fucking Paul White. Why did he leave?
I think
they didn't see any value in him anymore. So he fucking fucked off and left.
Yep.
Why did Macho Man leave for WCW all that time ago? Because WWF didn't see any value in him. He fucked off and left.
Yep.
I mean, this has been a common practice for years because Vince is can't get out of his own fucking way. And now, well, they lost 2 of their fucking biggest assets.
Absolutely.
So it's whatever. And I'm sure there's going to be more to come, by the way.
I do want to talk about some...
When you got Christian Cage, fucking Miro, Big Show, all talking about how great AEW and how laxed of an environment it is, I guarantee you some of those young guys that are in there right now probably are hearing that and they're like, I think that's my next destination.
Yeah. I want to talk about how hilarious meme I saw, though. Pretty much, if you remember last year when Randy Orton was going through his Legend Killer phase, pretty much all the legends that he took out are in AEW now. That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And watch out. The next person Randy Orton takes out, they're just going to come right over to AEW. That's going to be the fucking thing.
That could be the feed.
No, obviously he's fucking winning.
Yeah.
He's already lost to Randy Orton and once at this point. I mean...
Yeah. But anyhow,
But then again, it wouldn't surprise me. It is the fucking Fed.
I really liked Christian Cage so far on AEW. They've already teased a possible match between him and Kenny Omega. I don't think that match probably will maybe it will happen, but I think they're gonna go the Heyman Page route instead. But it's nice to have that it's nice to picture that match. So I think that was really good. I like that fact that his first opponent was Frankie Kazarian just because he has a familiarity with him from the old TNA days, and his first singles match, I think it should be someone that's a safe worker like a Frankie Kazarian. So
yeah, not just that. Can we also talk about? I felt like they have a working relationship with Impact. I thought it was a really missed opportunity that they didn't show clips of their match from some odd years ago. I guess because it wouldn't make sense because I think by the time when they fought, Christian was a heel back then.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you could have cut that in a way where, hey, it was them fighting and there you go. I don't know. Fuck if I know. But,
yeah. But I really liked. I liked the match they had a lot. I know some people said the match was sloppy, but I am gonna give it a pass because it was his first match back.
In like fucking 7 years. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't even sloppy. I think he was pretending to be winded. I think you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see a lot better Christian Cage matches as
Absolutely.
time goes on. Trust me.
The only criticism I would give with the match, and is the fact that like they already had Christian Cage like break out of the crossface shakewheel because they were like just introduced that and he's already like getting out of it. That was kind of like weird to me. Like he literally
Well,
introduced.
I mean, he has the veteran. I'm sure he's had that move put on him before. I just can't
That is true.
fucking remember when.
But yeah, and now it looks like he's probably not going to join Team Taz, but it looks like though he's going to be feuding with Team Taz, which I think would be. I don't know if I want him to get in the ring with Cage yet, just because like because Cage can be reckless
That's
sometimes.
because they literally saw that there was 2 people named Cage. Just like, hey, let's have the fucking fight. Fuck it.
You know what's weird?
We'll build an overarching story with that, but that's the real reason.
Yeah. You're gonna think this. You're gonna laugh at me, but because I'm not used to hearing him called Christian Cage, when Excalibur just says Cage, I'm like, wait, where's Brian Cage? Ain't even out there. What are you talking about, Excalibur?
Dude, we gotta have a battle of the cages and a battle of the pages and a fucking tag match.
Yep.
Adam Page and Christian Cage versus Ethan Page and Brian Cage.
That'd be great.
So,
Taz
can you
Cage.
imagine the fucking nightmare that would be on commentary?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Did you see that Dark episode where I don't know how much you watch Dark, but Michael Nakazawa fought like another Mike, and Taz and Excalibur were just having a field day. That it was like the battle of the Mikes. It was hilarious. I think you'll know the match I'm talking about if you've seen it.
I have not seen it, but I know it. What was it on Dark or Dark Elevation?
It was on
I know Dark, right? Yeah, because they do Dark, right?
Yeah, it was on Dark.
By the way, the best commentary team ever is Taz and Excalibur. Don't at me.
Especially when -1's involved. Oh, that's great when the -1's involved in that.
One.
Right, -1.
Fucking for Excalibur getting spooked. Spoopy.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. By the way, I will give you.
Before we continue. Anybody ever noticed that fucking -1 is hitting clear as day on Ty Conti?
Yep.
I mean, don't blame the kid.
Yeah.
He's got good taste.
That sometimes the hugs last longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah, I'm getting concerned a bit. Just saying, I might be a little tip on there, Tay.
But yeah, I really enjoy. And since it's been brought up, why don't we talk about it now? Because it would be weird if we waited. I like that they're kind of slowly having problems within Team Taz, so I'll talk about it. So I don't know. I think it was the second week Stin did the interview. Team Taz came out, and Brian Cage just like immediately grabbed the mic and says, "You're not going to speak for me tonight." And he actually like says that he respects Stin and says that he can still go. And like Team Taz obviously wasn't happy about it and stuff. Like they didn't expect him to say that, which was obvious. So it looks like Brian Cage.
I think it comes down to this. Everybody's thinking that Brian Cage is going to leave Team Taz. I think Team Taz eventually somehow is going to turn face, and Ricky Starks is going to be the one to leave because Ricky Starks is a star in his own right. I mean, that guy's too good to be a part of this group anymore. I think Brian Cage needs Taz.
Yeah.
To be firmly honest, I don't think he should leave. And quite frankly, I think that there should be some slow, build of all of them turning face. And plus, like, the other members make more sense than Starks do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, Hook looks like a natural fit. By the way, holy shit. Did you see him this week on Dynamite? How fucking jacked he is?
I did see that. He did too, I think it was on one of the dogs. He actually did like a really good, like, I think it was a Northern Light suplex.
Yeah, Can we get this guy in the ring already? Like, I don't think we need to wait anymore. This guy's ring ready.
Yeah.
He's just ring ready. Put him in.
Um, but yeah, I really like how it's like slow. They actually are referencing because on Dog they've been having 6-man tags where there's been some dissension where like they waited too long to protect Brian Cage, or this week they were kind of like being like cocky about it. I really like this week though, where like obviously they instigated each other and stuff like that, and I liked like Taz isn't taking sides, like he's calling out if somebody's wrong. Like this week he called out Ricky Starks for like instigating something. I really liked how he did that.
I love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that. Or
Um,
fucking Will Hobbs is just like, can everybody just get along, man?
yeah.
Poor fucking Will. He's just like, what the fuck do I do in this situation?
Exactly. So the stuff with Team Taz is definitely a thumbs up.
Yes.
It's nice and
It's all Ricky's fault. It's Ricky's fault.
It actually is if you think about it. But yeah, let's talk about the big storyline that's going on. That's everything with Kenny Omega right now. By the way,
well, before we even start with that, can we talk about Ricky Starks? Can we say this right now? Can he just get rid of Peter Avalon for good, injure the fuck out of him in kayfabe, and just take over his group? Would you not think that him with Ryan Nemeth, Cesaro Bononi, and JD Drake would be a much better fit instead of fucking Peter Avalon?
Tell me, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I haven't read any of the news sites lately. Did Peter Avalon, is he hurt or something? Because
I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea. I haven't been up when it comes to Peter Avalon.
Because it seems
I assume so.
Because it seems weird that like he's like which I'm not going to complain about, by the way, him being vanished. I'm not going to if they want to have him vanish, that's fine. But it seems weird because him and Cesaro Bononi were like a team, but all of a sudden now he's with JD Drake and Ryan Nemeth, which is just odd. It's just weird.
Yeah, like no explanation either. Which I assume it's because he's injured.
Yeah.
They're like,
or COVID. I feel like they would say something. I feel like they would say something if it was COVID though, because they're usually since COVID started, they're usually pretty good at like talking about it if it's COVID.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he's got to be hurt or something. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think Ricky Starks being that would actually work really well too.
Cesaro Bononi, I've noticed since I know he's been having a lot of trouble lately. He's been on TV a lot more. I think just to get a bigger payday, so that way he can help with the medical bills. So I noticed that just because, like, again, no other boss would have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Tony Khan actually put the guy on TV knowing his situation, so I got to give props to him on that.
Remind me,
I don't know the situation off the top of my head. I don't want to fucking misspeak. I don't want to misspeak. I have to look more into it, but I know Cesaro Bononi had like an issue with a relative that was battling cancer. That's as much as I know. I think it was his sister. I could be wrong. Yeah,
then let's talk about everything going on with just on Dynamite, anyways. With Kenny, we'll talk about the Impact stuff later. Kenny Omega has been really great. Like his stuff's been awesome lately.
Kenny Omega, as far as I don't care, everybody that says he's not a good promo.
Yeah.
You can suck one. That's it. I mean, this guy has really come into his fucking own as a heel. Nobody should be taking the title off him anytime soon. If it's not Hangman Page, it should be no one. This guy is fucking over right now. There's no question about it. This guy is just a great heel. He's getting the crowd to boo him. Like, this is a legitimate, like, I want to put this in perspective. Everybody thought because Kenny Omega was in AEW and the audience they brought in, that people were going to cheer him. He's gotten, they've had little crowds, mind you, but the crowds that have been there have been booing Kenny Omega.
Absolutely.
So he's doing his fucking job. Him and Callis both are doing their job to perfection. So
yeah, let's talk. There's so much to dive in with Kenny Omega. So the week after Dynamite, they did try to make up for the botch. I did like how they kind of make it seem like, was it a botch? Like, did we take away something from you? Which I do kind of like that they're trying to make up for.
I think Eddie Kingston solved that the minute he gave the kayfabe explanation that he thought he was having a PTSD flashback, essentially.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Great excuse to cover up why he was selling like death. That makes sense. So they covered up their tracks fucking great on that episode.
I did like, I don't know if you've seen it, Impact did take a shot at it, which is fine because they're feuding in kayfabe anyway, so that's fine to take a shot. But yeah, he interrupted Christian Cage's like interview he was supposed to have, and just they talked about that, and then it led to Eddie Kingston. I really loved, obviously that they're putting up the history that Don Callis was the one that brought Eddie Kingston into Impact, and then he's the one that fired. I believe he's the one that fired him from Impact just because he got too reckless and all this type of stuff.
Yeah. And
it led to the beatdown, and obviously, it led to the tag match the next week with the Good Brothers versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And this is where the big story comes in, because before this, Don Callis was talking to the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks, he was pretty much talking about how Kenny Omega didn't abandon the Young Bucks. He abandoned them because he doesn't recognize them anymore, because they don't have that fire that they had, before Dynamite, where they were, like, winning all the belts. Remember, like how they were, like, where they had, like, all the belts in, like, every promotion.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you mean the best tag team on the fucking planet winning championship after championship? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And it looks like they're trying to go back to that with more strength and numbers. By the way, we'll get to my theory of what is about to happen on May 5th in a minute. But we got some inner workings going on here.
And
By
then
the way, May 5th's Double or Nothing, right?
It's Blood and Guts.
So is it a pay-per-view or is it like a fucking special on TV?
It's going to be a special on TV, I think.
Wow, they're airing that shit for free? Are you kidding me? That should be on pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Why is that not on pay-per-view?
Well, in all fairness, I think because it was supposed to be aired for free, so they probably don't want to make people pay for it if they were supposed to get it for free anyways.
Yeah, but you could even make the original match that was supposed to happen was, the Elite versus the Inner Circle. That should have also been on pay-per-view. Why are we not making this pay-per-view match? Especially now. You got such a better matchup.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'll just say my theory now. I don't think that's going to be the only Blood and Guts on May 5th either. I think we're getting Bullet Club Japan, Bullet Club USA.
Oh, that could happen too. Yeah,
Which, could you imagine that? Why, if they build that, I'm sorry, they're idiots not putting this on pay-per-view.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Why would they not put that shit on pay-per-view?
But yeah, let's continue.
It makes no sense.
Let's continue talking about it, though. So yeah, after the Kingston and Moxley beat the Good Brothers, I actually liked it. By the way, it's a little touch because WWE wouldn't have done this, but they still had Moxley come out all taped up from the barbed wire death match. Because in WWE, he wouldn't have been selling that at all. He would have come out all fine.
Look at me, I can walk.
Yeah. But yeah, they still got a roll-up finish, and then they broke Eddie Kingston's leg. I even love how Kenny Omega's entrance, by the way, that week. I know I remember, he just came out doing, a little dance, doing that week. That was awesome. I don't know if you remember that, but that was really good. And then they were about to break Moxley's neck, but the Young Bucks, talk him out of it, obviously, because they have a conscience and all that type of stuff, and this was kind of their chance. But and they even give him a chance to throw him up, but the Young Bucks refused that time. And then eventually, I really liked how they booked the match. It was the same match at Fyter Fest minus Kenny Omega, and and the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler lost. And Kenny Omega went off on him and actually brought that up. At Fyter Fest, we had this same match, and yet you guys abandoned me. And then he talked about what led to him joining AEW. He didn't join AEW because he chose it over WWE in Japan. I chose you guys, and now it's you guys aren't doing the same for me. And obviously they walked away that time, and then
I chose you, and you choose Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did Brandon Cutler do? He should be a part of this group too, no? Poor guy.
I was disappointed. I was actually, I will say too, like, I was even thinking, because I remember everyone, like, was out of the win and stuff. I'm like, wow, Brandon Cutler's actually going to get a win on Dynamite. And, like, Radio K just beat him right after I thought that. I thought that I was kind of sad when that happened. Like,
No, the minute I saw Brandon Cutler there, I knew who was fucking eating the fall in this.
yeah.
I just didn't know who was going to pin him, but I knew who was eating the fall.
Then it led to, obviously, the tag match the following week, because afterwards the Lucha Bros laid them out when it was Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. But I will say one thing, they gotta change Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers theme song. That is trash. That is bad. Like, oh my gosh. I take back.
Fucking get Evil Ways.
Please.
You work with Impact. Just get Evil Ways and put it on them.
Yeah.
You could associate AJ's old theme with them. It's fine. Just do it.
Yeah, please.
My God, it's better than that fucking travesty.
Yeah, and obviously,
by the way, the Good Brothers will not fucking do because that theme is kind of bad too.
Yeah, it's kind of bad too. It honestly makes me kind of even though I look forward to the matches, I dread every time on Dynamite Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers team up because I know I have to listen to that song, and then every time the Good Brothers come out because I know I gotta listen to that song. So it's like that's not how I should feel.
So bad. So bad.
But anyhow, then it led to, yeah. So obviously Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers won. Then it led to because Moxley, I think it was on this episode. It was either on this episode of Dark Elevation where he mentioned that he owed the Young Bucks one because they saved his career and all that type of stuff. So it led to this episode where Moxley and the Young Bucks, because before this, I forgot to talk about this, Don Callis chastised Matt Jackson and slapped him in the face.
Slapped him hard, by the way.
Yeah.
What a segment, by the way. Can we talk about that segment?
Go ahead, talk about it.
Don Callis looked like... That might have been Don Callis' best promo to date ever. And I've seen a lot of Cyrus, so that's saying a lot.
I haven't seen
That's his best fucking work I've ever seen him do.
I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, so I can't really...
Yeah, no, it's his best work. Like, just no doubt in my mind, It's funny how everybody is going to AEW, they're doing their best work they've ever done.
You know what the fuck... You know what the weird thing is? Remember, like... I think it was like over a year ago, we ranted about Don Callis when he was on commentary and all this type because he didn't seem like he gave a crap. Like, in Dynamite, it's... Whoever would have thought, like, we'd say he'd be doing the best work. Like...
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I mean, it helps the fact that he's not commentating anymore because he finally realized that shit. This is my strong suit.
Yeah.
It's not my forte.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just be a manager for somebody, and now he's the manager for fucking Kenny Omega. By the way, notice that he's carrying both titles that Kenny Omega currently has right now. AAA got a mention again, and a fucking visual belt to represent him. He's got both titles. Don Callis was holding them while Kenny Omega was doing these poses. That's the Impact World titles coming with him, and so is the TNA World title as well.
Oh, you think
he's going to be an Ultimate Dragon manager kind of role.
So you think? I mean, I know we're gonna talk about it later, but you think that because obviously right now Swan's carrying both belts, so you think
there's no other option. You have to have it be Omega.
No, I know it has to be Omega, but I'm asking, like, so you don't think they're gonna just get rid of one of the you think he's gonna keep both of the TNA belts?
He's gonna keep both of them to add to the belt collector gimmick. There's no question in my mind. He's doing the belt collector gimmick here.
Yeah. I just went.
So, there you go.
I'll say this too. I hope. I mean, it's probably not gonna happen because I don't think Aldis will go for it. I really think he should go to not Dynamite. Power and win the NWA. Please.
No, Aldis won't do it. Although we can build a triple threat. My idea is you can have Paige go to Power, to MLW, and what's another company that I could think of? Ring of Honor. win all their world titles. Have Kota Ibushi win one more Japan title. Have him make it a fucking shock appearance at Dragon Gate. Have him win their world title and maybe one other championship. I don't know if it's Noah or something, and then just have those three in a triple threat winner take all scenario.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Works for me. I'm paying money.
Yeah.
You got enough story between the three of them where it would fucking work.
What do you do the match? You have to put it on an AEW pay per view, I would think, right? Because that's probably what.
Yeah, come on. There's no other pay per view. I mean, you could do it on. I guess technically you could do it in New Japan as well, but I would say more eyes are probably going to be on AEW if you do that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I would say AEW for the winner take all.
But yeah, so continuing though, it led to the 6-man tag this week. Oh, that was so good. I know a lot of people say the finish was overbooked, but I really like the finish a lot.
Dude, the 6-man tag matches, and this includes the one at Rebellion as well, because I did see a part of that. Every 6-man tag match Kenny Omega has been in has been the best 6-man tag match I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't know who the fuck is aging in these matches, but
yeah,
I've seen shit in such rapid succession that I never thought I'd see. So
for me too, like that's a high standard for me, by the way, and I'm saying that because we have to think of like the matches we're ranking, like the Shield matches, the Undisputed Era matches, and even the British Strong Style matches too. Not, I mean, in terms of, like, you know, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven, British Strong Style. Like, there's a lot of 6-man tags to go by. So
could you imagine if somehow WWE were to lose Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and the Shield reunites in AEW? Could you imagine an Elite and Shield match? It'd be done. Best 6-man at that point. There's no competition at that point, I don't think.
Absolutely.
That would be insanity, dude.
But yeah, so this match right here was great because if you think about it too, we got 2 great 6-man tag match with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. So we had this one, and then we had the one on Impact the next night.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then
these guys, they're just on a roll, dude. They're on a fucking roll.
The match went on like normal, but then the finish is really the one to talk about because Matt Jackson was like so conflicted about hurting Kenny Omega. He didn't want to hurt him because of the friendship that they had.
This was so good. Everybody was like, why did after fighting and killing each other like they did? I'm like, that's the story.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do it. I love, by the way, holy shit, fucking Matt Jackson with a tear in his eye.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, I lost all sight of my friendship. Fuck Jon Moxley. Like, I love that. It's a weird position for a heel to take where they're actually it actually makes sense why they're turning, and you can understand why.
Absolutely.
It's insane. Like, it's really, really good. So.
But yeah, it led to eventually Moxley coming in and doing the job himself, and I feel like too you could make the argument that like Moxley took it too far too because he was just hurting Kenny Omega just in spite of the Young Bucks too, just in spite of them.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it led to
like the problem is I know what most people are gonna be like. Who the heel? Who the babyface? Like.
If you guys remember, though, AEW...
It's not like that anymore. It's not fucking 1994 anymore, guys.
Remember this, too. AEW said... I mean, there still is, but, like, there's going to be certain situations where there is no heels, there is no baby faces. The AEW said that from day one, and they followed through with that. So,
yeah. There's very few that are, that break that rule that AEW put on themselves. Pinnacle and Inner Circle is one of them. So if you like that style, it's on that show. If you like sports presentation where there's not a clear heel and not a clear babyface, it's on that show. They have something for everybody on the show. That's a lot, but everything feels different. That's a lot more than I can fucking say about anything else that you'll fucking watch.
Absolutely. But yeah, it led
Which is
to
why, by
obvious.
the way, I said Impact needs to get into bed fully with AEW and quick.
Yeah,
Especially now they had to move the Thursdays again. If they're gonna move the Thursdays, they might as well just merge with AEW and go on TBS.
absolutely. But yeah, let's talk. But yeah, it led to obviously the Young Bucks turning. At first, actually, I'll tell you what I thought. At first, I didn't think it was a heel turn because it seemed like obviously they were just kind of trying to end it. But then obviously it was a heel turn. I didn't realize it was a heel turn until they did the final super kick to Mark. I think that confirmed to me that this was a heel turn.
What a fucking heel turn it was too.
Yeah.
And the way Matt Jackson was just like, I understand now. I fucking get it now.
Yeah. There's a,
Yeah.
and
Great storytelling all around.
oh, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to hear the not only the explanation next week, but I can't wait because now I think one match we're gonna get. I think when Eddie Kingston is kayfabe okay, like ready to wrestle again, we're gonna get Moxley and Kingston versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles. I think we're getting
Which
that.
would be interesting as hell.
Yeah.
It was good that they turned him too because it makes sense with the whole Death Triangle being baby faces
Yep.
and being pissed at the Young Bucks for taking cheap shots. Because if you remember, they were kind of building to that,
Yep.
and now that actually makes sense. So that match is gonna be insane.
The Young Bucks were kind of slowly. There would be times where they were actually kind of heelish, anyways. I haven't seen All Out
They're
2020.
natural heels. I gotta tell you, they're all three of the elite, include, and you can also throw Gallows and Anderson in there too.
Yep.
All of them are just natural heels, so this was a great move.
I mean, I will admit though, when we talk about Impact, I don't love the presentation that they get on Impact. I think they should they're kind of goofy on Impact. I think they should be more serious, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, why do you think I just kind of skipped out on it this week? I'm sick. Go to a fucking crowd. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You have enough fucking people that have probably gotten the vaccine over in Tennessee. Book a show with people inside, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm so sick to death. I'm not, honest to God, and I'm dead ass. I could barely take it with Dynamite not being with a full fucking crowd, but at least to have a crowd there. I don't want to watch Impact, and it's a struggle for me to even try to watch it because of that fucking reason. Because there's no fucking crowd there. Because despite the fact that enough people have gotten a vaccine in Tennessee, you can probably have a crowd there. They still don't do it.
I mean, it's better now though. Like at least they had some. They.
I don't, no. I could do a fucking better job than they can, and that's not even me fucking saying that to brag. I've actually done it. I have legit proof.
Yep.
I mean, enough piped in crowd noise, enough fucking fake crowd goddamn nonsense. Please just have a crowd there. It's not that hard.
But yeah,
even if it's fucking 20% capacity, I'll fucking take that at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, let's I feel like that kind of breaks down the Kenny Omega storyline. That gets like, if I had 3 thumbs, I give it 3 thumbs up.
Yeah. 3 thumbs up. All the thumbs up.
So before we talk about, I feel like this is something we got to talk about though, because it's been kind of a bit of a current criticism with AEW because it has to do with these next 2 topics. Yeah, there's too many factions. Because a lot of people are saying that now. Because obviously they have.
Look, it was bound to happen anyway. What else are you going to do with a bunch of people? You need to get them on TV somehow. That's one way to do it. And here's the thing, right? I've been saying they needed to do the faction thing for forever. If you look at Japan, they had battles with Chaos and Suzuki-gun and Bullet Club and LIJ. Like, it was, there's a ton of factions in Japan. They have the Empire now, Will Ospreay's faction. So, all of them over in Japan, they feel different from one another, right? So, as long as they feel different and the world and the titles are still the most important thing, then have as many factions as you fucking want for all I give a shit.
I'll say
Titles are the most important in the show. The ultimate prize is the factions are all going for is the world titles of some ilk. World tag titles, TNT world title, AEW world title, women's world title. Doesn't matter.
I'll say this too. It's not like
Think of all the factions they have, and tell me one that feels. Tell me one faction that feels similar to any other fucking faction.
correct.
Dark Order, they're fucking different, 100%.
Absolutely.
Team Taz, absolutely different. They're in a fucking storyline within themselves right now.
Yep.
Inner Circle's different.
Now, yeah, absolutely. Now,
the,
yeah.
The Pinnacle's like different. You know, freaking QT Marshall's group's different.
Yep. And the Nightmare.
Cody's group's just his fucking school.
Yeah.
Fucking, the Elite's different. Every faction is different. There's not one similar faction here.
And I'll say
They're
this.
all different.
To get my 2 cents in it, the way I think about it, is a lot of people comparing it because, like, it's, I believe it's right before the Attitude WWE all the factions and then Impact. Every faction that's in it's not like thrown together. Every faction that's together makes sense. There's not been like, oh, there's a faction
there
now.
was a fucking story told to make the faction, and by the way, there was a story to keep the faction going.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, it wasn't just a stupid fucking one-dimensional concept like gang warfare. Like, that was going to be a selling point. The only group that even got over in that time period was the fucking Hart Foundation.
Yep.
No other group got over.
Well,
every other group felt like the same fucking thing.
Well, Nation actually did an all famous
Nation, no. The gang warfare thing died after DX fucking took off, and then the Nation got. The DX and Nations were like the biggest faction in '98.
Yep.
The DOA fucking sucked because the people involved and just the storyline they fucking put it involved in it.
But wait a minute, didn't the Nation take off though in '97? Because didn't the Rock turn heel in '97?
I know they had Gang Warfare and Survivor Series, the same Survivor Series where the screw job happened. So
yeah.
Look at that. And you tell me what factions were fucking over. Because the only one may have been the Nation in that match. And other than that, the only other one would have been the Hart Foundation.
Absolutely.
So, need I say more? I mean,
yeah.
AEW does factions way better than fucking the Attitude Era did. And way better than fucking... Remember, Impact tried the faction warfare concept.
Oh my gosh.
Failed miserably at it.
I think it was
probably what people are referencing when they look at so many factions in AEW. It's not even the same thing.
If I remember to Impact, like, that was the only story they could ever tell. There'd be like a faction story every year. I think it was like,
oh my god,
and it was always bad.
And it was always terrible. Yeah, I remember it was like, what was it? They had about 8 factions in TNA. None of them made sense in the beginning. And they just didn't even continue the storyline like it even made a fucking lick of difference. But I forgot about it like 2 weeks later. Because, of course, Vince Russo was right in the fucking plot.
Yeah.
The best faction they did was Aces and Eights, and then they even lost the plot on that because guess who came back to write?
Yeah.
So...
Well, also, they lost the plot, too, because Hogan and Bischoff left, like, when the story was still going on, so they kind of got rid of it, like, right after that, pretty much.
I'm not shocked.
So
and by the way, if you were to hear the fucking stories... By the way, everybody that said Hogan and Bischoff had anything to do with fucking TNA, fuck off, they didn't. That's all Russo. You can't. I've heard enough stories now to know that Bischoff had not a fucking lick to do with creative.
I've listened.
Literally, Jimmy Hart into the fucking deal.
I've listened to his. I mean, not all of them, but I've listened to his 83 podcast when he reviews the TNA shows. He even talks about like I had no clue that was going on. Like, now obviously there could be that debate: is he lying through his teeth? But so that could be.
No. See, here's the difference between Bischoff and a lot of these fucking carny fucks. and I've noticed this as time has gone on. By the way, Bischoff's not a compulsive liar. Number
Yeah.
one, he actually tells the truth more often than not. I don't think people realize that. And number two, they aren't him. They weren't there when all this shit went down with WCW. They were they. I'm gonna talk about it on the Jay Hebert side because I'm bringing that back. I'm gonna fucking assassinate, and I mean deliberately assassinate the Wrestling Observer's credibility. Because holy shit, do I not like them now after hearing a lot of the 83 Weeks podcast.
Yeah.
They are the most I'm dead ass when I say this, by the way, and I don't fucking feel bad, and I don't apologize for it. Wrestling Observer is the most uncredible fucking news source ever.
Yeah.
When you fucking pass out for money, by the way, that Mabel was going to be the third man in the NWO, you lost me.
I do think it's hilarious when Eric Bischoff and even though like and Bruce Pritchard's like I love when they react. So does Dave Meltzer know this by just sitting in creative meetings every week? Does he know that? I do love when they say that. I think it's hilarious.
You know what? I realize now they're not wrong.
Yeah.
I realize that they're not wrong. And even then, it's like it's funny because Sean Ross Sapp is probably the most credible source. And he doesn't he actually goes out of his way to fucking confirm shit. He goes out of his way to make sure that the people he has confirmed shit aren't fucking stooges. And he always says, like, this is my opinion on the matter and blah, blah, blah. He's not trying to, like, be something he isn't.
You know what he's good about, too? Like, because he's talked about this, he doesn't share the news. He asks permission before he even shares the news.
Yeah, that's another thing. He doesn't share the news unless given permission.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I can't like. I still there are still other things I like. Like I like Brian and Vinny, but their perceptions are warped. I think a lot of that has to do with Meltzer. But their perception on how WCW went out of business is so fucking warped I can't even begin to tell you. It's actually disturbing how warped people's perceptions are on how it was all WCW's fault. It was all Eric Bischoff's fault. No, it was fucking Jamie Kellner's fault.
Yup.
He wanted WCW gone. A lot of Turner executives wanted WCW gone, even when they made money. Their highest profitable year, they wanted them gone because they didn't like that wrestling was the highest profiting thing on Turner television, other than fucking cinema. You don't think that's stuck in their fucking craw when they were trying to get rid of it after the fucking whole... What was it? I forget his name off the top of my head. The fucking Bill Watts bullshit where he was fucking racist.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of it when that happened.
But anyhow, we're getting off into... Let's continue. Let's get back to what we're here for. I brought up faction warfare because the next two things basically are faction warfare. Let's talk about the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. I love, like we talked about, the best Dynamite segment we've seen in a long time. And there's a lot of great ones with the Inner Circle War Council. So it was going fine at first, and then MJF grabbed the mic. No, actually, no, then Sammy Guevara returned. This is the first time we had seen him at all.
Well, so Jericho said we need to add a new member to the Inner Circle.
Yep.
To which I'm like, here's another thing, by the way. Where is the new member? Or did they have they didn't even explain if they had a new member.
I'm going to guess, like, they were going to add one, but maybe, like, the Pinnacle getting formed kind of fucked up their plans because they were out for, like, a couple of weeks.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
And so then MJF took the mic and was like, I disagree, Jericho. I think we need to get rid of a member from the Inner Circle. And then out came Sammy Guevara.
Yep. And he revealed the footage where, like, earlier in the day, I guess, MJF had a talk with the rest of the Inner Circle, and he was going to say he had plotted to get rid of Chris Jericho. They all agreed. And I really like, because this shows that the wrestlers watch their own show. They teased like they were going to beat down Jericho and Guevara, but then the Inner Circle turned on him, and Jericho even said, well, no, I'm sorry, I didn't say that, but the Inner Circle like turned on MJF and we're going to attack him, and Jericho even said, you don't think we watch our own product? We saw that before Guevara even came out here, so I like that Dynamite doesn't, because it's very rare that wrestlers watch their own product, so I do like that it shows that the wrestlers are paying attention. And then I even loved MJF. He was all cowering in the corner, afraid. He's like, I'm not trying to take over the Inner Circle. I'm not trying to take over the Inner Circle. And then he just demeanor changed instantly, and he says, because I've been slowly...
Dude, MJF is fucking GOAT at 25.
I know.
What the fuck am I doing at 25? I'm sitting here in a dark-ass room.
Can I tell you?
He's up there being able to change demeanor on a fucking whim, dude.
Can I tell you something hilarious? Me and MJF have the same birthday.
Do you?
Yeah, we were both March 15th. We were both born on the same day.
You cut a promo as the Owen Finch character from WYW and be like, there can only be one man to share this birthday.
Yes.
Loser leaves birthday match. Let's book it.
I want to have a feud between like
shit all over this.
In my fantasy, and I want to have a feud between me and MJF, but it's in like 2017. He's 21. That's probably too young for him to be in like a big title program, so I may have to rethink that. But that's besides the point. But yeah, his demeanor changes instantly, and he says, "Because I've been building my own faction." I know he didn't say that, but I had to.
He said, I swear, I'm not trying to take over the Inner Circle, I swear, man. Because I've been too busy building my own.
Yeah.
The lights go out. This is the one criticism, if I had to have one. How do they know the lights? How do they get to the lights?
Yeah.
Who's in cahoots?
Yeah. That's fair.
Other than that, the segment was great.
Yeah.
Because then you just see the whole faction in full force. FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow. I love how they went back to the Sean Spears route. I thought they weren't going to do it for a minute.
Yeah.
I was so glad they brought that history back up.
Yep.
I was so fucking happy they did.
Well, I don't know what happened with him because, like, apparently, like, he was on the alumni page for a while in AEW, so I don't know, like, if he had, like, a contract issue or if that was, like, part of the storyline or whatever.
I think that was part of the story. That's really dedicated fucking detail.
Yeah.
Put that as part of the fucking story. Good on AEW if they put him on the alumni page. Good shit. Wow. Nobody else would have done that.
No. But yeah, I really like. But this was a really damn great segment. They just beat the crap out of the Inner Circle and they destroyed them.
If segments had star ratings, this had 7 stars all day.
Absolutely.
This was fucking great. Actually, well, not 7 stars. 6.5. Not quite 7 stars. That little light thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an issue for me, but other than that, fucking great.
Yeah. But can you correct me? Because I haven't watched. You've seen every Dynamite. The week after, was that the first Dynamite Jericho wasn't on?
I think so, yeah.
That's big. That's a big deal. I thought that was a big deal. The fact that Jericho like missed basically like a week of Dynamite because Jericho's that's the first Dynamite.
Not only did he, it's starting to take a turn where not only did he miss a week of Dynamite, so they did another faction turn with QT, which I'm sure we'll get to, and Cody wasn't on that episode after.
Yeah, but there's been there's been a lot of episodes like Cody wasn't on though, but Jericho has been on every Dynamite since the beginning though. That's a big deal. I thought that was a big deal.
Yeah, but dude, the fact that I didn't even realize Jericho's been on every Dynamite in some fucking regard.
Like he's either whether he's on commentary or like he does like he's always on it somehow. So, but I feel like that was obvious. I feel like it was obvious because I think that's what makes it good that he missed that week because I noticed it. So,
good stuff.
And and obviously I like the explanation that MJF gave, where basically he was joining the Inner Circle to destroy it from within, but also building his own faction. Obviously, that was the explanation he was going to give. I thought that was really well done. This is that Four Horsemen faction too. Remember in the summer there was like news sites saying that they were gonna build that Four Horsemen faction. We were waiting for it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. I'm glad it wasn't Cody involved in it. It made no sense to have Cody involved.
There was that I want so I don't know if MJF was the plan all along because there was actually Nick Aldis was supposed to be in it, but obviously we know what happened with that. So I'm glad. I honestly am glad it's MJF over Aldis. I think MJF.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense if it was Aldis, but MJF was the best choice out of this whole thing. Made the most sense. And I know there was rumors, and they probably came from the Observer. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. We've already established that. I think it was I think the plan was always MJF.
Yeah, same.
It was in some way, shape, or form it was going to be MJF.
Yeah, and then MJ. On that segment, they that's when they became known as the Pinnacle. They had the 6-man tag where they faced. I think it was Dante Wild and I think it was it Big?
It was Dante Martin and Varsity Blondes.
Yes, which honestly I thought that made a lot of sense. I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe not, I know it's random, but I thought it really worked for me.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
And then it led to
about a deep tag division, by the way.
Yeah, it led to last week. We had last week where MJF was gonna give gifts to because they took over the Inner Circle's locker room too. I forgot to talk about that.
That was tremendous.
And then the Inner Circle just came and destroyed the Pinnacle. Like they got
what a fucking. You want to talk about following a segment?
Yeah,
that was so great. Following an actual. This had no problems with it. This was 7 stars all day because I knew what they were leading to. There was no other option to do this.
Yeah.
First off, actually. My idea. This is my idea, by the way. A lot of people are saying, this is how I was able to excuse it. How were the Inner Circle just in the bathroom and nobody had to take a shit? Well, it's simple. They go into the locker room when they need to have a conference meeting. It's that simple.
Yep.
Cool. So we established that.
I got one.
Everybody goes into the fucking locker room. Not everybody's in the locker room 24/7. It's not where they live, people. It's not their fucking house. They're not renting it out. They're not fucking sleeping there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Well, in all
throat.
fairness, I can see the criticism because the locker room's probably the same because they've only been recorded in one place. So I'm assuming that by now they have probably like distinct locker room where everyone goes to now since they've been in Daly's place for a while. So.
No shit. But they don't live there.
Yeah,
they don't. They don't live there. Jericho has a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
There's no way he lives in a locker room 24/7. No way. So obviously they were going to hide out in there. Now they could have explained this. I'll give them that. But they didn't need to. You can make the distinction. Okay, well clearly they don't live in the locker room. If you use common sense. Now that we got that out of the fucking way.
One criticism I saw that I laughed my ass off, mainly because of the comparison they made it to, is it was a lot like Retribution where they lost all their steam after a couple weeks because they got their ass kicked in. Which I laughed my ass off that they compared this group to Retribution. That crap. That was hilarious.
Yeah, there was a much different fucking such a different comparison here. The MJF and the whole Pinnacle took a locker room that wasn't theirs. They got exactly what was coming to them.
Absolutely.
Retribution. What was the story again?
They broken up now.
Exactly. I'm sorry. What was the story of them fucking getting their ass kicked again? No one? No one want to raise their hand? No? Okay. Shut the fuck up with the comparison then, thanks. And not to mention, it was leading into Blood and Guts. We knew exactly when this beatdown happened. We knew where this was going to go. And by the way, what a fucking beatdown.
Yeah.
Like, this looked like a legitimate fucking Pure 6 brawl.
Absolutely. Oh, it was
fucking
great.
Hager, by the way, looked like the best he ever looked. I've been saying Hager's been looking better and better as time has gone on, but Hager looked like a fucking monster when he put Wardlow through the massage table. And
Yeah.
like, don't check on him. Fucking walked off.
Yeah.
My God, Proud and Powerful looked like a fucking thug group.
Yeah.
They looked like the old LAX from Impact.
Yeah.
They came into their fucking own in this, dude. Dax Harwood was fucking bleeding. I think that was Hardway, by the way. He was bleeding all from the side of his head.
Yeah.
That was such a visual, by the way.
Yeah.
What a fucking visual this was. And he fucking just stabbed him with the fucking piece of a broken wooden chair right in the side of the fucking head where the cut is.
Yeah.
And then they fucking went back out, and then they show. Obviously, this whole thing started with Sammy Guevara fucking smashed Sean Spears' head into the fucking door.
Yeah, with his finish, yeah.
Yeah, after his finish, which was a fucking burning hammer into the GTS.
Yeah.
He just smashed the door right into his fucking head. And then we get to Jericho and MJF, where they're still brawling in the locker room. And Jericho gives MJF a swirly, which was fucking nasty.
Yeah.
By the way. Oh my God, he's fucking spitting toilet water out and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking gross.
Now, did you notice, by the way,
What
before...
a spell, by the way. And then... I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Then Jericho picks him up. And hearkening back to 2008, screams at MJF, the worst is yet to come, and throws him in the fucking Pepsi machine. Which, by the way, you know that was a product placement. That's a huge product placement for AEW.
Yep.
That's if you don't know what product placement means, it means essentially Pepsi's a fucking sponsor of AEW. This is not the first time we've seen Pepsi there on AEW Dynamite. That's a huge get. That's not fucking chump change for product placement. That's Pepsi. That's PepsiCo. That's one of the biggest soda companies on the fucking planet.
Yep.
So I just wanted to throw that tidbit. Awesome 7-star segment. Fucking tremendous. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All the thumbs up.
There's
great
more.
Segment.
There's more.
And by the way, this is our locker room, bitch. As he's pouring champagne all over the back of the fucking match. And they throw him out and replace the Pinnacle sign with the Inner Circle sign again.
There's more, though, because then it led to this week's segment where Jericho kind of talked, the Inner Circle, mainly Jericho, it was only Jericho, finally got to talk about it. I actually liked, even though he's a babyface, he didn't pretend the whole reason he brought MJF to the group in the begin with, where he said it was for heelish purposes, but he just got outsmarted. But he's still a babyface. I love how he was calling him my jerk-off friend.
My jerk-off friend, that was tremendous, by the way.
I really liked how he just paired it.
Called the group the Pineapple, by the way.
Yeah.
The Pineapple.
That probably...
Jericho still got it, bro.
Yep.
All these years later, he still has that magic. He just has that magic way to sell shit.
By the way, did he pass I remember you said he had to pass the 6 weeks test. Did he pass the 6-week test?
Oh, believe me, he's passed it with flying colors, brother. He's passed it. He's passed it long ago.
Yeah, and then it led to
must have been eating a lot of pineapples.
Yeah.
During his time off.
Then it led to him, obviously making the challenge for Blood and Guts. But that wasn't the end of the segment because they announced that Mike Tyson was going to be there. I think this was a bit of a throw-in because they didn't. I got like an email on my phone, like I think that Monday that Mike Tyson was going to be there. So I think that was definitely like improv because I think he just left out like legit showing up.
And I love how the Pinnacle just came back and just was like, "Fuck it, you think we're done here?"
Yeah.
We ain't waiting until Blood and Guts, bitch. And they locked the Inner Circle in their locker room, and you could tell it's Santana swinging for the fences, trying to break the fucking door.
Yeah.
Nuts. What the fuck was this?
Yeah.
Like, that's a visual. And then, when all seems lost and their Inner Circle may lose their leader, out comes Mike fucking Tyson.
Yep.
The pop he got was fucking outstanding, by the way, for a small crowd. They popped huge for this. He comes out, he looks like a fucking badass.
Yeah.
And he and the inner circle are just looking at this guy like, oh shit, it's Mike Tyson. Fucking run. Sean Spears can't get out of the fucking ring fast enough, and he starts laying in fucking shots.
Yeah.
And he's about to get a fucking haymaker while he's ground and pound, and they pull him out just in the nick of time. Tyson still is a scary motherfucker at his age.
Yeah.
Dude, don't fuck with Tyson. Unbelievable. And I love that they harken back to that segment.
Yep.
Where Tyson and Jericho are staring each other down, and then they hug, and Jericho's like, thank you. Fucking,
this is
dynamite, man, for segments like this. You wouldn't see this. You wouldn't see the way they do celebrity guest spots and action spots anywhere else. Like, even WWE, they lost the plot ages ago with that.
I think they did do it pretty well with Pat McAfee. I will give them that.
Yeah, but that wasn't WWE. That was still technically the old regime of NXT until that was like the last bit of the old remnants of NXT.
But let's continue. Let's talk about another fashion: the formation of the Hardy Family Office. I think it's called, or the HFO.
That might be the one that's the most obscure, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
But it is different.
Yeah.
So we'll give.
I like, I like that Matt Hardy. You could say, like, I guess a bit of a nitpick is that they didn't really, they pretty much, like, didn't really, like, do anything to, like, because obviously Eddie Kingston was with the Butch and the Blade. Maybe they should have had, like, a segment where, like, they, like, parted ways or something. But I feel like there's kind of a bigger story going on right now, so maybe and you do remember too, they always go back. Remember that period where Allie was randomly out of the Butch and the Blade, and they kind of found the way back to that. Maybe they're gonna do something with it. So you never know.
You never know. Also, the one nitpick I will say is they say QT Marshall's married. Okay, why the fuck was he just being a sugar daddy for the bunny for all those weeks?
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, what was the point?
Yeah. I never got the point of that anyways. But I like the formation of it. I like that Matt Hardy's going to go after the Dark Order, and he says he's going to go after each member, and he did. I think he's gotten through the first one, and he got 5 on it, Dark Elevation. And this kind of ties in with the TNT title storyline. I know I put that in later, but it kind of has to do with it now. So Scorpio Sky's a heel now. That has to do with it. Him and Darby Allin had a killer of a match for the title, and led to Scorpio Sky turning heel. And I like the explanation he gave, where basically he said that he was just used as kind of a setup person to make somebody else look good. And he said that he's a bit, he's seen nice guys not finish as well, and he tried to be a nice guy, but now he's just going to be a mean person. It is another nitpick. It does kind of seem weird, though, that, like, he attacked Darby Allin, and Darby Allin hasn't, like, called him out or anything like that. That is kind of weird, because that kind of seems out of character for Darby Allin. But I don't know what happened with that. They did. I will say they did kind of make up for it, though, because during Stin's promo, I know, like, Darby Allin wasn't there. They did show, like, Scorpio Sky, like, watching from the crowd. So it shows they are going to go back to that.
Which I assume means that Archer might join up with Sky and Paige?
Maybe. I don't know. And then it led to... But we did have it was Darby Allin, though, because this is the next destination. He is feuded with Matt Hardy now, because after he defended the TNT title in a great match with John Silver.
I love how he criticized Jake Roberts, by the way. Who's literally, in my opinion, and maybe this is a story they're telling, but it's been a fucking albatross for Archer.
Yeah.
So I love how they actually brought that into the story.
Yep.
Like, that might have been their plan the whole time. I love how Sting kind of brought that up.
But, on Dark Elevation, Matt Hardy's called out Darby Allin because Darby Allin has called Matt Hardy a sellout and stuff. And, he said that he used to look up to him, and Matt Hardy's been saying that he didn't sell out. He bought up or whatever to his money and fame and all that type of stuff. And now they're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match. I do think it's cool that we get this match, but I really wish it was the broken Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin. But maybe they're gonna do that match eventually because I really would love to see a cinematic match with Darby Allin versus Matt Hardy. Because that would be
I'll be honest with you. How are they gonna do it? And quite frankly, I'm kind of over the whole broken phase of Matt. I kind of want to see where this big money one goes.
Yeah,
because we never got enough of that in Impact. That was like a transition phase for Broken.
Yep.
If you remember back when him and Jeff were feuding.
Yeah. But I'm liking the Darby Allin. He also had a killer match this week with JD Drake. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a fucking great match. Great match. Is there anything else on that? No.
Well, I guess we'll talk about the Lance Archer stuff.
The Bunny and Tay Conti as well. Before we get to the dark stuff, do we want to talk about the last little faction, which is QT's faction?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So obviously, QT, they slowly turned him into a heel. At first, what happened was QT when Lee Johnson was getting attacked, he didn't save him, and then he was kind of been slowly acting like a heel. I think there was a tag match he had on Dark Elevation, I believe, where he teamed up with Lee Johnson to face someone, and he kind of like took over the whole match and everything like that. And then he basically said, that he's frustrated because like all he's thought of is Cody's friend. He talks about like everyone says that he's signed because he is Cody Rhodes' friend, which is true, but he's also put in the work to get signed. And he also talks about how he's a better worker than Cody Rhodes, not in terms of in the ring, but like he's the one that's putting all the shows together and getting all the talent together.
He's the one that runs the gym, basically. It's not anybody else. He's really putting in the most work.
And it led to the exhibition, where Arn Anderson was the guest referee. And obviously, too, there wasn't because Cody Rhodes had suffered. He still had the shoulder injury too, not just from the ladder match, but also when he wrestled Pentagon, against Cody. Like I think the week before that. So it led to the exhibition. I like that. It really wasn't. It was a match, but it was unsanctioned, so it was kind of more of a segment. And all the Nightmare Factory, at least the main ones, were out there. And eventually, QT Marshall got frustrated and took a cheap shot at Arn Anderson. And we found out that this was a plan because at first he seemed remorseful about it, but then afterwards, Anthony Ogogo, Nick Camarado, and Aaron Solo all took out the rest of the Nightmare family, mainly the Gun Club. Was it just Billy and Austin, or was it Colt too? I don't remember.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was Dustin though, obvious. And then obviously it was
I know they got rid of the Gun Club and then they just annihilated all the rest of the students, and man, Anthony Ogogo looked like a fucking beast.
So there's something that I think was a little touch, by the way, that kind of showed he was turning heel, because on Dark, I think Matt Hardy wrestled 5 of the Dark Order. It was someone from the Dark Order. No, yeah, he wrestled. No, I know what it was. It was Private Party versus I think it was Butcher and the Blade versus somebody. And Matt Hardy took like a cheap shot and like slammed someone on the ground. And Anthony Ogogo was kind of like defending Matt Hardy, saying like he took a cheap shot at him. Like he was kind of acting like a heel, and I thought nothing of it. But I wondered if that was the kind of show he was turning, because that was kind of unique. I thought that was kind of weird.
That was a good one. Yeah, I like that. I like that little tease. I like Anthony Ogogo just on the mic, by the way. He's a fucking great mouthpiece. So
yeah,
I hope he's good in the ring. I think they've given him enough time where he could be great in the ring.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
And they destroyed Cody, and they destroyed the Nightmare. And you know what? I know we could complain, but I got 2 things I wanted out of this. And that's first, I thought the Nightmare Factory was getting way too big, so I thought that kind of split that group up. And second, something I've been asking for a while was Cody Rhodes. I remember I was talking about was so directionless like earlier this year because he was.
Oh yeah, direction with QT.
Yeah.
So and QT, by the way, has made himself a fucking star in this whole equation. So
absolutely.
Great on QT. I knew QT was already good, but he's fucking great as a heel. So great fit for him.
If you think about it too, like they didn't do anything with it, but he was kind of acting a bit heelish, like when the alley stuff was going on too. Like he kind of wasn't focused on the Nightmare Factory. I don't think that's going to be part of the story because they kind of that story's already over. But we've seen he could kind of be a heel, and now I like that he said I like that they didn't turn him heel then. I think this is a better way to turn him heel because I think if he had turned heel with Ali, that would have been crap. But yeah, afterwards he did the promo I like how they had the steps too that they drove Dustin and stuff on too. They all did a promo together. I love how Anthony Ogogo he really cut a good promo. I loved how he talked about how Aaron Solo is just going to be known as somebody's boyfriend because this is kind of one of those behind the scenes. If you know, you know. Yeah, I thought that was really damn great stuff. Red Velvet, I liked how they remembered that she was part of it because she was the one that stopped QT from injuring Cody more. And obviously, since we're talking about it, I love how they continued Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. I'm actually looking forward to their match this week. It's a woman's storyline I actually care about for a change, so that's good.
Yeah, that's fair, right? Although the Bunny and Tay Conti's been interesting.
Yeah.
Although, again, they need to get the belt off Hikaru Shida.
Well, let's talk about that because I think they're gonna fix that problem. One thing we gotta talk about is recently we haven't talked about it yet. We got the unsanctioned match with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. I mean, obviously that match was fantastic. Really deserved the main event.
To be honest with you, while it was a great match, it actually pissed me off. Not because the match wasn't good. The match was fucking great. Thunder Rosa should have won the title. This should have been her first defense, and she should have been the one fucking carrying the division going forward.
Absolutely,
and I'm sorry. I love Britt Baker. She probably can't carry the division now that Thunder Rosa helped her. I'm sure it will be great. But fuck me. I mean, you have more money with Thunder right now.
I know, yeah.
It's also... It was a missed opportunity. And
it's
I
also
can't be asked with the story anymore.
It's also weird we haven't seen Thunder Rosa all that much since that match has happened. We've only seen Britt, which is kind of weird. I
guess the partnership, as long as it lasts, is done. Because where the fuck has she been?
Yeah, she was on Dark Elevation, and then she hasn't been seen. No, they can't. Oh, she can't go. They can't end the partnership with NWA. That just can't. Thunder Rosa is way too good to be on NWA. That's just not. That cannot happen.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I'll even rant about the NWA thing too. She was on NWA literally the pay-per-view.
We'll talk about that one if we want to. I don't know if we want to pause because I know we're going to talk about how bad NWA has been.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
But yeah, that's the thoughts on the. But yeah, I do think I think they're getting the bout off Shida soon. It looks like Britt Baker's gonna win the title, which I wouldn't really complain about because at least Britt Baker's on TV every week.
It should be Thunder. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It should be Thunder.
I think the last thing we gotta talk about actually. Well, there's two more things we gotta talk about. Is they blew off the Miro, Kip Sabian and Best Friends.
What a fucking blow off it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way,
talk about brawls, by the way. That was a fun-ass fucking street fight.
By the way, one thing I really like Orange Cassidy's new theme. I think that's really good. That really fits him a lot.
That was such a great choice.
Yeah. I know a lot of people crapped on this because they didn't like the Best Man gimmick, but one thing you can't crap on AEW for, no matter how this feud's been, they definitely know how to start something and they definitely know how to end something. So.
Oh, yeah.
Personally,
absolutely. That was a banger of an end.
This may be an unpopular opinion. I didn't see the whole Best Man gimmick, but I personally didn't really mind. I feel like if it was Miller made the Best Man gimmick work. I think if it wasn't Miller, it would have been crap. I thought I personally didn't hate. I know Jim Cornette's been crapping on it. They led to some Twitter wars and all that type of stuff.
Who cares a shit?
But I really like.
What he thinks. I'll listen if he actually has a fucking point that's not fucking nonsense, but.
Yeah.
He's a fucking carny. And he's no. By the way, it's funny how he hates Vince Russo, but he's no better than him. By the way.
I know, yeah. But I really like the Best Man gimmick, and
great, yeah.
I love this match. Trent's back, and it's really cool that they're gonna bring in Chris Statlander for this now because I haven't seen being in the Elite in a while, but from what I remember before she got injured, they were kind of doing someone being the Elite with Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander as like a comedy thing, like they were gonna be like in a relationship. But I kind of like that they're gonna kind of put them in a. I don't think they're gonna be in a relationship.
They're fucking is what you're saying? What?
They were doing a thing like joking around, like that they were gonna like get into a relationship. But then she got
Sloth and an alien. Yeah, well, fuck it, why not?
I think that was the joke, but then she got injured and they kind of and then they stopped that because she couldn't be on the shows every week. But I think
now it doesn't seem like they're stopping that anytime soon.
And then it led to obvious. And then I like how this week I know this is they actually are gonna go back to the Death Triangle best friends feud, and they actually even talked about it this week. It was kind of weird. I mean, I'm not gonna. It was kind of weird that Orange Cassidy like started the promo like in the Best Friends. I'm like, is this the first time he's come out and actually like instigated like a promo? That was weird. Yeah,
right. It's good to see you three back in the ring, and then they showed their fucking. I love how they didn't forget that Death Triangle was supposed to fight the Best Friends in a street fight.
Yeah.
Remember they were teasing that before the pandemic hit?
It was like, didn't they form like officially right before the pandemic? I'm pretty sure that. And
that was how they formed, was they beat down Orange Cassidy.
Yep.
And the Best Friends.
Yep. And then one final
great one.
One final piece of AEW thing we gotta talk about is Dark Elevation. We're not going to spend a lot of time. We're not going to review everything, but we're just going to talk about it a little bit just because it started. We haven't really talked about it yet.
Yeah, fair.
I like it. I wish... The only thing I hate about it is it's basically dark. Like, I wish it was a bit different.
Dark with a different commentary team.
Yeah.
And by the way, the first episode... Big Show's been getting better slowly, but man, this first episode, it sounded like he was calling a golf tournament.
Yeah.
He hit the move.
I will say I like them together on commentary, but like, I'm not saying it's nothing bad, but you definitely notice how valuable Excalibur is to the commentary.
Oh my
team.
god! Yeah, he's probably the one fucking giving them the information in the back.
Yeah. I feel like the one criticism. I mean, I feel like Shivani and Paul White don't have that enthusiasm that like Excalibur has. Like I do watch it, and the commentary teams. There's also I always it's a big criticism I have sometimes with commentary team. There'll be like a minute where like no one's saying anything. Like I always kind of hate that. Like there's like no one's talking.
That error on commentary team. Yeah. It's funny with Dark because you know that it's because they're fucking laughing and they're trying to fucking show it.
But. I understand why they want Paul White and Shivani, because that's kind of like, they were in WCW together, so that kind of makes people like nostalgic about that, I guess. But Shivani's doing better than I thought he would, though, because I remember like when in the episode, like he's not very in tune with anything like in wrestling, but so he is doing better than I thought he would do. So
yeah, he's much better than I thought he would do. Yeah.
I went through some of the matches. I'll just say them. There is some matches I'd recommend. Basically, any Danley Limelight match that's been on Dark Elevation. Like, I really enjoyed those.
It's been fucking great, yeah.
Let's see, what else? I recommend watching Ashley Vox versus Ty Conti. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I can't believe NWA had Ashley Vox as, like, a jobber. That's just... That's a crime when I've seen her work nowadays. Like, the Seidel's versus... Believe it or not, I know they've been... But this is the first time I've seen him on AEW. Royce Isaacs and Joel Nelson. Royce Isaacs, I know he's like a jobber right now, but he's being used so much.
Royce Isaacs and Joel Nelson was such a better natural team than whatever the fuck he was doing with Tom Latimer.
In all fairness, I can't. In NWA, I think what happened was they did like they got together. They got together via the Crockett Cup, and I think like in the Crockett Cup they do like they do a thing where it's randomized, so they got like put together randomly, but they obviously kayfabe that, so. Yeah, I just think the reason Royce Isaacs is being used better too, like outside of remember in NWA he was doing that goofy stuff with like May Valentine. I felt like they always went out of the way for some reason to make Royce Isaacs look bad.
Who the fuck was May Valentine? Why was she on there?
I don't know. Yeah,
she was hot though.
Don't you remember though that I feel like they always went out of the way for some reason to make Royce Isaacs look bad for some reason. And he's not. What else matches would I recommend you? Max Caster versus Dante Martin. Watch that one. Riho versus Maki Ito. Nakazawa versus Matt Sydal. Other matches I'd recommend: Five versus Ethan Page. Layla Hirsch versus Ryo Mitsunami. Ryan Nemeth and JD Drake versus Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
Moxley versus Bill Coolio. I don't know how to say his name, but really enough, you'd be surprised, but Joey Janela versus Chandler Hopkins, because that was really good. It's probably the best match I've seen Janela have in a while, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
Jungle Boy versus Jack Evans. Let's see. Scorpio Sky versus Mike Seidel. Bear Country versus Private Party. Heyman Page versus Bill Coolio. I'm on the last episode now. Dean Alexander and Carly Bravo versus the Varsity Blondes. 10 versus Danny. Well, I did say any Danny Lightly. In terms of like a destruction match, if you want to see Lance Archer destroy someone, watch Lance Archer versus Baron Black from Elevation this week.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad when it was Baron Black that got squashed, though, because I like Baron Black.
Yeah, Baron Black's actually a fucking great worker. Max
Caster versus Colt Cabana. And Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus the Seidels. And then since we're on like Dark Talk, there's some matches on Dark I recommend you watching that I'm thinking of. Brian Cage versus Brandon Cutler for the FTW title is one I think of off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
I thought it was on Elevation, but Baron Black and Danny Limelight had a match on Dark recently. I recommend you watching. That was really good. Any matches on Dark recently you recommend watching?
I don't know, because I've honestly haven't been keeping up to date with Dark. I got to get back on
it.
So
those are matches
when time goes. Probably next episode I'll be able to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty much that's it for Dynamite. Pretty much. Before we, I give AEW recently like a 2 thumbs up. Like everything's been pretty spot on.
Everything's been pretty good. Very minor hiccups every now and again, but fucking most part great.
Yeah. So. Let's talk about So now let's talk about Impact Wrestling. All right, so before we talk about Impact, I want to do a quick recap of Sacrifice, which weirdly enough, aired like the week after Revolution. I'll just kind of do a quick run through of it. The commentaries on that show were D'Lo Brown and Matt Stripe. Did you see the show, or do you want me to just do a quick run through of it?
No, say that again.
Did you see Sacrifice, or do you want me just to do a quick run through of it?
Yeah, just do a quick run through because I haven't gotten to see it yet.
So Black Taurus and Crazy Steve wrestled Reno Scum on this show. That was actually a good match. I enjoyed that. It was set up really weird because on Impact they were kind of doing like a segment with Triple XL, and somehow it led to them having a match. So it was kind of weird. I guess they didn't want to do that match again. I gave it like 3 stars. It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't remember the finish, but Black Taurus and Crazy Steve won, but I thought that was a good match. I thought Tenille Dashwood and Caleb with the K versus Havoc and Nevaeh was decent. I really enjoyed the intergender wrestling they had with Caleb with the K and Havoc and Nevaeh. Tenille Dashwood and Caleb with the K won, which I thought was good setup to break up Havoc and Nevaeh in the future, so I thought that was decent. This was set up to, like, because Tenille Dashwood kept telling Havoc and Nevaeh and trying to break them up, so this kind of how that got set up. We had Joe Doran and Dina versus James Storm and Chris Sabin. Eric Young was in VB Violent by Design's corner, and Jake Something was in James Storm and Chris Sabin's corner. This was set up because on Impact, they attacked James Storm and Chris Sabin. So it led to kind of having everyone in each other's corner, so it looked like the odds were going to be even. Eventually, I think the ref took a bump or something, or the ref got distracted, and it led to Rhino coming out, and we thought Rhino, since he had been taken out by Violent by Design, was going to help the faces, but he ended up joining Violent by Design. He laid out Sabin with a gore, and some people may hate this because it doesn't make sense, but I really like this because it shows that Eric Young's brainwashing people, and Rhino, the same thing's happened to Rhino's been brainwashed. And I think what's happening is I hear Heath Slater's struggling with some injuries, so if he can't come back right now, I think this is a good direction for Rhino, and if when Heath Slater comes back, I think that would be kind of a cool feud to do. So I really like this. It shows that I like Rhino in Violent by Design.
Yeah, dude, it feels like the old Rhino, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the ECW, like, Rhino. So I thought great. That was a great move.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I give it like 3.25. I give that match 3.25 stars, probably because of that finish alone.
Yeah, that was great.
And then we had the Hold Harmless match with Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, which is pretty much like a street fight, no DQ match. Earlier in the show, Brian Myers paid Hernandez some money to interfere in the match. And eventually he did, but then Matt Cardona evened the odds. I really like this match. A lot of people may hate me for saying this, but I think Brian Myers' gimmick's starting to work for me anyways. I think it's actually working. I really liked in this match. He kind of like wasn't professional. He was kind of taking those like cheap shots and stuff and being like a street fight. But eventually it led to Eddie Edwards finally getting the win, which is fine. The big criticism I'll just say with Eddie Edwards, by the way, I'll just say the match was very good. I give it like 3.75 stars. But the big criticism I have with Eddie Edwards right now, not necessarily the win attire. It just definitely feels like they have a direction with Eddie Edwards. Like, he's not doing anything right now. Like, I don't think he should leave Impact because there's stuff for them to do. But I think they should put him on Dynamite or something for a while. Like, he just has nothing going on Impact right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we had, for the tag titles, the Knockouts tag titles, it was Fire and Flavor defended against Jordan Grace and Jazz. This was really good. I think the only criticism I have of the match is, it didn't really. It kind of ended unexpectedly. So yeah, I thought the match was really good. The team that Fire and Flavor ended up winning, which was obvious. I thought that was really good though. Probably my favorite match on the show. Actually, no, my second favorite match on the show was Ace Austin versus TJP for the X Division title. That was a great match right there.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, that I will say that, the X Division's been the best thing about Impact. I mean, no shock, but it's a fucking X Division.
Yeah.
Like, this might be the best crop of X Division talent I've seen in a fucking long fucking
Yeah.
time. This is tremendous shit. I will say, they gotta put the shit on Dynamite one of these days.
Yeah.
Just get the X Division, give a showcase match for the X Division if you can.
Yeah.
Because, like, I wish it was in front of a crowd, a lot of those matches.
Yeah.
Those matches are fucking great.
Ace Austin.
Especially the matches with Josh Alexander and TJP.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rohit versus TJP.
Yeah, Rohit versus TJP, absolutely. Ace Austin. Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Coming into his fucking own.
Yeah.
In that division, man. Absolutely great.
This match was 4 stars. Ace Austin won the I really like his finish. I like it more and more how he can just hit that out of nowhere. The fold. I really like his finish. I'd like to see him in a ladder match and do that like through a ladder. So we had Swinner's Palace. I will be honest. It's been so long since I've seen the show. I don't remember what the segment is because a lot of Swinner's Palace segments are very forgettable and bad. So,
you're telling me.
We had the Knockouts title match. It was Deonna Purrazzo versus I remember the Swinner's Palace segment actually. Tenio Dashwood showed up and was mouthing off to Alicia Edwards. And
why is there a fucking Swingers Palace in the backstage? Why?
I don't know.
What is the fucking reason? Do we have a reason? Is he just bored?
Oh, I know they did give a reason. I think because he stole the money, he acquired Swinner's Palace. I think that's why. I think he bought like a place for Swinner's Palace. I think that might be why he has it.
So he's a carny and stole? That's the fucking story. There's no other dimensions to this. Who did he steal from?
So what happened is there was a match recently. Well, I say recently. It was like back in December where it was Hernandez versus Fala Ba, and they were like fighting over money. But he stole it from Fire and Flavor, who had the money. So that's what he got the money and used it to. I'll be honest, it was kind of like right when I got back into Impact, so I was kind of vague on that storyline. So I know that I know.
Can we just get rid of this fucking clown off TV, please?
Yeah, please.
I'm so over this guy, honest to God.
But if you want to know, I do remember it led Tenio Dashwood and Alicia Edwards got into it, and it led to them going to Scott D'Amore and asking for a match, and he made a 10 knockout tag match. So there you go.
Which was very chaotic, but very fun.
I like the match. I just wish the setup was better.
And also, Susan was involved, wasn't she?
Huh?
Wasn't Susan involved in that?
Yeah.
Can we get... I don't like the gimmick.
Well, they may be getting rid of it.
It's funny, but...
I'll tell you about it.
I think she's funny, I guess.
Yeah.
She is funny with the gimmick. I'll give her that.
So we have the Knockouts title match. It was Deonna Purrazzo defending against ODB. This was a good match. It was placed on the bad spot of the card because it was right after the X Division title match, but it was still good. That ODB was there to do a job to put over Deonna Purrazzo, and she did that job well. I don't think we've seen... I think this was ODB's last match because we haven't seen her on Impact since this match, so I think this was
I want the team of ODB and Jazz. Don't deny me.
We might not get Jazz either, though, so...
Why, are they both going?
Well, they're doing a career versus title match with Jazz versus Deonna, so I think Jazz is done after this, after how just...
No!
I know, it sucks.
What the fuck?
The Knockouts title match was good. I gave it, like, 3 stars.
You guys just missed a boat on a great opportunity with ODB and Jazz challenging for the tag titles.
Then we had the Good Brothers defending the tag titles, the men's tag titles against FinJuice. This was very good. The reason why I didn't give it like a great rating is I thought it was too soon to do this match. I think they wanted the titles in Japan to kind of advertise Impact, so they did this match. I also don't really understand like why they took the titles off the Good Brothers because now we have no tag titles in Impact. At first I thought they were going to do the Young Bucks versus the Good Brothers, so they didn't want to have the Good Brothers be the tag champions going into that match. But now I don't know what's going on here because
they're with the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, and they should have had the fucking belts. Please just have them win the belts back in this promotion.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Japan would get involved somehow. Maybe they will. Maybe it will come down to over in Japan. And it's the only way I could see this actually happening, is if God wins the titles from FinJuice.
Yep.
That'd be the only way I can excuse them even putting the belts on FinJuice in the first place. They were just transitional champions to get the belts on God, and then they could do the, build between Bullet Club Japan and Bullet Club USA. I'd imagine it will be fucking Tama Tonga Loa, Jay White. Who's the junior tag team?
I haven't really watched. I haven't watched much New Japan, so I couldn't tell you.
Whoever the junior tag team is with in Bullet Club versus the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Probably. Which again, they'd have to get the belts on them, and then I would have to also get
And I'll be
IWGP titles on the team somehow.
I'll be honest with you too. I think I still thought this match was very good. This is just Impact standards. I haven't been all that into the Good Brothers because they.
Oh, dumb it. By the way, I'm sorry. It just occurred to me. Fucking Kenta and El Fantasma. There we go.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me. Sorry.
There's a couple reasons I think I couldn't get into this match as well. I really wasn't a big fan of the feud going into it because, like I said, I thought it was too soon, and I feel like the Good Brothers haven't. They've been presented fine on Impact with the matches, but I really haven't been a fan of the gimmick where. Like, I feel like they're presented so much better on Dynamite than they are on Impact.
Oh, my God, it's not even close. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
They need to have a change of regime as far as who writes these fucking segments.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, how different it is and how better it is on Dynamite. Like, they just need to... Whoever the fuck is running on Impact... Like, get rid of them and just have Tony Khan book the show.
There's one, it's a minor criticism about Impact. I hate the backstage interviews when they have the theme music playing in the background. That's just a minor criticism. I hate that so much.
Yeah, they need to kill that with fire. I remember back in the day when they would just have no sound and it was, like, way better. I remember could you imagine the Scott Steiner promo with that fucking tune in the background?
Yeah. Then we had the main event, which was the match of the night. It was title for title unification match. It was the TNA World Champion Moose putting up his title against Impact
What
World
a
Champion.
match this was. This was so good.
Yeah.
This was so fucking good. I did watch this because they I was able to see the main event somehow in full. Tremendous fucking match. What a counter into a fucking cutter, by the way.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
The only criticism I wish like Swan could have won definitively instead of by a roll up. I wish he like won with the Phoenix Splash or something.
Yeah, I agree. It should have been more definitive, but
I do no. I am fine with Moose versus Swan. No, I'm sorry, Swan versus Omega for the title. It makes sense, but I kind of wish it was Moose. I think Moose would have been really good. I get
Moose would have been. I love Rich. This is no disrespect to him, but he was not the right choice for this.
I think they
really, honest to God, think it was Moose. I thought Moose should have been the champion going in for this.
I think the reason they want to do Rich though is because it's meant to be like defending the honor of Impact, and I guess Moose being the heel wouldn't really work. So I guess I get why it's twist because
that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. Moose would have been a better all around worker for this matchup.
And I think
because quite honestly, you could tell the story that. Even though Moose is the heel, he would be the babyface in the scenario.
Yeah.
It would be I guess it would also be hard to tell considering the size difference. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Because I think it'd be tough for Omega to do a lot of his offense because Moose is a bigger athlete and all that type of stuff. So.
Well, he's hit a fucking dragon suplex on bigger athletes before. I've seen him do it.
Could he hit the one-win angel on Moose, though?
That might be tough, I guess, in retrospect, but.
But yeah, I wish it was. I still think I'm fine with it being Swan though, because the story is there. I think Moose was the better. I just think Moose was the better option. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Overall, though, I thought Sacrifice was very entertaining. I gave it like a B+. I think the biggest criticism I have was obviously the Johnny Swinner segment. Not so much the match, but the tag title situation was just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, it's been weird.
So let's talk about what's been going on Impact recently. All right, so now let's talk about Impact. Now, we will say James is going to get some spoilers, but there's nothing I can do about it because he said it's fine. So,
yeah. Before, are you recording right now?
Yeah.
I know this isn't wrestling related, but we should give respect to DMX. He actually just died.
Like right now?
Yeah.
What's his name? I don't even know who he is.
The rapper for Where the Hood, Where the Hood, Where the Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And other hits such as X Gonna Give It To You and Mike Tyson's theme song intro.
Be careful, don't send these songs because we could get I think we could get copyrighted, but yeah, definitely.
Rest in peace to one of the best rappers ever to grace the stage. And DMX, my God.
So let's talk.
Yeah. I wake up to know that he's dead. Yay.
But let's talk about the best storyline that's going on at Impact right now, and that's this winner take all match with Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann. I'm really digging the storyline. So the segment afterwards, Rich Swann's carrying both belts right now. Like we did give our thoughts on that if you've seen the show earlier. If you've seen earlier in the show.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Rich Swann came out and he says that he's looking. Oh, by the way, I do gotta say though, Rich Swann's been killing it on the mic with this Impact one. Like he's so good on the.
I will say that, yeah, he's a great fucking mic talker.
I don't think
you're not gonna take that away from him.
He talked about like how he's looking forward to this match. It led to Don Callis coming out and talked about how he was a big fan of Rich Swann.
Again, great promo by Don Callis with the one-winged angel fucking hype.
Yep. Yeah, it led to, you know, obviously Don Callis talking about hyping up the one-winged angel, saying that no... It is weird, though, because he said no one's ever kicked out of it, but I think on Dynamite, like, recently, Excalibur's mentioned somebody's kicked out of it, so that does kind of make it weird. Maybe Excalibur shouldn't have said that.
That would have been Moxley, probably.
Yeah, so that is kind of weird because now that's the story for this match, but Excalibur's now mentioned that someone has, so now I know it's a lie. Lying. Well, I don't like that.
Well, then again, I mean, Don Callis is naturally a liar in character. Anyway.
That is true, yeah. So I do like that it made it look like that he's in Witch Swan's head after the One Winged Angel. And then obviously a couple weeks ago it was announced that Kenny Omega was going to be on Impact. I'll be honest, I didn't take it all that seriously because of this. Because there's been times when they say they're going to be on Impact, but they're just like backstage or something. But he was actually there. Like he was legit.
Yay! He was in Nashville. Oh my god.
Um,
He actually showed up in the ring.
he kind of did. I know it. By the way, I loved how he was in one of the ads too. By the way, for when they were hyping up Dynamite for one of the episodes.
He was in the ad.
Yeah, like he was like in the ad when they were hyping up the Matt Sydal Kenny Omega match. Like he showed up in the ad.
Like as in like the actual person.
I think it was probably a pre-tape, but
Oh yeah, okay.
But Kenny Omega and Don Callis come in and cut this great promo talking about like how they're like the best thing in wrestling. They even showed like this great video package of like Kenny Omega hitting on the One Winged Angel on everybody. And
that was great. Oh, just play that again.
Yeah,
love that.
Like again, Kenny Omega silencing his critics. Him and Don Callis cut a great promo on Impact the first week he was back. So
yep, dude, this duo was the best pairing that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
what a freaking they rejuvenated Kenny Omega in the best way possible. The Cleaner's back. For those who wanting the Cleaner to come back, he's absolutely back. So
yeah,
good stuff.
I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't get it right away. I know a lot of people saying like we should have gotten it. I feel like this is what makes it.
No, they did a slow build to it, which
yeah,
was fucking great, and all platforms, by the way. It wasn't on all their shows, even BTE.
Yeah,
so good shit. Great storytelling.
And then they led to the next week. Well, then it led to later on the night. I did like how Rich Swann brought up, yes, he has to fear the One Winged Angel, but he does mention like what's gonna happen when it's just you and me at one-on-one, Kenny Omega. Like he mentioned before that, like you had to have all your friends help take me out. So I do think that he brought that up. And it led to the following week where they were Kenny Omega got the Good Brothers. I think watched that video. They said like 36 times.
What video?
The One Winged Angel video. I think they mentioned they watched it like 36 times like the next week.
Kenny and Callis?
Yeah, because they were watching like Finn Juice matches, and then Kenny Omega was saying, we got to watch this, the One Winged Angel tribute again, and get the Good Brothers like, we already watched it like 20 times, like 36 times, so I thought that was hilarious. He did go to Swinner's Palace. I think that we did get one good segment out of Swinner's Palace, actually, when they went to Swinner's Palace to put bets, and then they bet all their money about the fact that,
Wait, Kenny Omega went to Swinger's Palace?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. And then you must not have seen Impact that week because I feel like you would have remembered.
No, I didn't. What happened?
And then they bet. Well, John, I guess you can make bets in Swinner's Palace, and he bet like all of his, like a good amount of his money that like Rich Swann would not kick out of the One Winged Angel. So he's probably gonna. I have a feeling Swan's kicking out of the One Winged Angel, probably at least one of them. I think they. And then later on in the night, Don Callis came up to Willie Mack and talked about how he should, pretty much put down Willie Mack and put down Rich Swann. And Rich Swann got in his face, and Don Callis said, Rich Swann says, I'm not going to punch you because you're my boss. And Don Callis says, well, I'll give you 10 minutes. I'm not going to be your boss. You can do whatever you want to me, which obviously was a ploy. It led to the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega attacking Willie Mack and Rich Swann.
And then Edwards was like, fuck you! This is my show! Get out of here!
And yeah, he came out and made the save and led to the 6-man tag this week, where I'm going to spoil it.
I saw segments, by the way, because I follow their Instagram.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I led to the 6-man tag this week, where Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack won when Rich Swann hit the Phoenix Splash on Carl Anderson. I don't really have a problem with that because you got to make Rich Swann look like a threat that he could go up against Omega, and they did that very well because they did a thing where Rich Swann had him beat until Don Callis pulled the referee out, and they also did a thing where Swann fought out of the One Winged Angel. So I actually like for making Swann look very credible towards Kenny Omega.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's good.
I think one thing that's gonna happen. and it's probably not going to happen, but I think it should happen. As I think Swan to really advertise, they don't really talk about all that much on Dynamite, but I think to really advertise this match, the go home week, Swan should show up on Dynamite that week, one of the weeks.
I agree. He should. I don't know why they haven't even pulled the trigger on that yet.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, like I really enjoyed this feud though. Like, and like we talked about it. They could go both. I mean, they could go either way, but I think it's got to be Kenny Omega winning the Impact World Title. I think that's the best option for everybody.
There's no other option. There is no other option. It's got to be Omega. Nobody is going to tune into Impact if you have Rich Swann retain against Omega by the skin of his teeth. No one's going to tune in. They want to see Omega with the belt.
Yeah. I don't know what the way.
I'm barely able to tune in because there's no fucking crowd. At least if Omega has the belt, I have an incentive to watch. Like it's really hard to watch it without a crowd. I will make an exception if Omega has the belt.
Yeah.
But man, it's really difficult.
I will say too. If Omega has the belt, I guarantee you he'll definitely show up on Impact with a belt. Not Impact, Dynamite with the belt too. He's definitely gonna show up on Dynamite with the belt.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm saying put the belt on. AAA got the exposure. Impact should be next.
Well, Impact's gotten the exposure because the Good Brothers always showed up with the belts, so Kenny Omega was.
That is fair. That is fair. I'm just saying, like the world title should also.
Yeah. And it could lead to a lot of because it could lead to a lot of great cross promotion matches. Like you could see, like I would love to see, eventually Moose, face Kenny Omega for the belt. Maybe he could be the one to take the Impact belt at least off of him at some point. Eddie Edwards obviously is another one. Like there's a lot of matches you could do with Kenny. I feel like Swan's had a good run with the belt too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, my question is, before we even get into, they keep saying the Forbidden Door. Where are we gonna get fucking a lot of these other promotions involved? Where's MLW? Where's Ring of Honor?
Yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see them get involved in this.
I
know Ring of Honor's been teasing it because they're still in a working relationship with New Japan, and they've been mentioning, what's been going on in Japan, and AEW is working with New Japan as well. I'd imagine they're going to be next in line.
Yeah.
I just don't know where the hell MLW is going to fit into all this.
And I think NWA is going to get involved again. Like, don't pull out because you got shows running now. Like, you need to be involved. Like, now more than ever, if you have shows back, you need to be involved. Like,
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say.
Other things that have been going on in Impact, they're building up. So, I will say they're also building up. So, they're building up Rebellion, but they're building up Hard Justice. I think it's part of WrestleMania weekend. It's going to air tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Which I'm actually fine with. It's just going to be like a nice wrestling show we can watch. And Tommy Dreamer's been made, in kayfabe anyways, the booker for that. It's called like the executive booker, like they're using the ECW as like an acronym for it. So how...
the executive booker committee?
Yeah, it's something like that. So he did book... he did book a match. He booked a career versus title match between Deonna Purrazzo versus Jazz.
Why? I don't like you, Dreamer. Fuck you.
What happened?
I love you, but I hate you.
What happened was Deonna Purrazzo defeated Jazz in a match recently on Impact, and Jazz demanded the match because Deonna only won because of Susan's interference. And Tommy Dreamer said, okay, well, you got to put something on the line. And Jazz stupidly decided to put a career on the line, I guess because she wanted that much. They actually did a great video package where it showed, like, Jazz sitting down and, like, talking. And it, like, showed her career, like, in retrospective, where she talked about everything she's done, like, in ECW, WCW, WWF, and other places. I think it was those were, like, the main ones, because I don't think she's really been wrestling all that much, really, since.
Yeah, she was a bad bitch back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
She wouldn't take shit.
And there's actually a bigger storyline element that might happen. So also on on Hard Justice is going to be a weapons match with 5 women. It's going to be we'll do predictions for it. It's gonna, off the top of my head, it's gonna be Alicia Edwards, Nevaeh, Havoc, Jordan Grace, Tenille, and Susan. And this is actually important because when Tommy Dreamer made this match, he pulled Susan aside and asked, "Where's your friend Su Yun?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? Like, Su Yun, where is she?" This is actually important because this is the first time they brought that up. And then obviously Deonna Purrazzo like pulled her away because obviously you could tell she doesn't want, Susan to turn back into Su Yun, which makes sense because Su Yun's nuts. So this week on the BTI, Jazz and Susan had a match, and Jazz bounced her head off the steps, which knocked her out, and this completely threw Susan for a loop. And this week on Impact, Deonna and Susan were backstage, and Deonna was asking her what her name was, and she said her name was Sue. So then a doctor came in. It wasn't Father James Mitchell. It was somebody else. I think they tried to to prevent her from turning into Su Yun, and they would do like a transition where it looks like that Su Yun's trying to break out of this gimmick. So I think we'll do predictions, but I think we're getting.
Please.
Yeah, please. Please.
Can we just join? Can she just join the K after?
Yeah, please. That'd be great.
Because her and Rosemary should be like the team.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like I really like the build up to the career versus title match, but I don't think Jazz should be. I feel like Jazz, unless Jazz is going to Dynamite, I don't think she should really put a career on the line. But I don't, because plus two, like if you're gonna do that at Rebellion, because that's the bigger pay per view.
Well, gotta be here.
Yeah. Then let's talk about the Violent by Design storyline, which I really like, but I think there's been something that's going to probably put it into this storyline, which we'll talk about.
No.
So what happened was they did a big video package a week after Rhino joined. It was basically the same package they did with Dino when he joined, where he trapped him in the prison cell. And Rhino was telling him he basically is manipulating Rhino. He has him get baptized into the, into Violent by Design. Man, he just looks menacing with Dino and Joe Doran.
You talk about how you want to talk about how Sanity looks like a fucking bag of shit in comparison to this group.
Yeah. At least the main roster version, anyways. I thought the NXT version.
I even think the NXT version doesn't even compare with this.
Yeah.
I really don't. This group is so much better than that.
And then it led to which I want to talk about. It led to whoever I couldn't believe it when I heard this. It led to James Storm's 1,000th match on Impact. He's had 1,000 matches on Impact. He's
a fucking OG.
Yeah.
I don't think he's leaving soon. By the way, I think he's Impact. He'll probably show up on Dynamite, I'm sure, to close out his career. He ain't going to WWE. Thank God.
Yeah. And he's done with it. He's clearly done with NWA, which I think is a good choice.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, he had his 1,000th. He had his 1,000th. We had a 1,000th match. He wanted to have it against Eric Young, and I actually was a fan of it because it just kind of shows because they were both the OGs in Impact. And I think it kind of comes full circle that was James Storm's 1,000th match on Impact was against Eric Young. They even did a nice tribute on BTI where it showed him winning the world title for the first time and the only time actually. And they did a backstage segment where they brought back Chris Harris. I think this is gonna be a one-time thing for that 1,000th match. He looks so much. I know that's really not saying much, but he looks so much. I don't know if he went completely MIA after 2011, but he looks like he's in better shape than he was in 2011. I don't think he's in wrestling shape, but he looks like he's in so much better shape than he was.
Yeah, well, be careful. He might knock your brains out.
Yeah. Then he had the 1,000th match, and James Storm, obviously.
Wins.
Yeah, I was fine with that actually.
Makes sense, especially when Harris came in.
And he dedicated, I forget the guy's name now, but he dedicated to like the guy that got America's Most Wanted like signed to Impact too, because he like recently passed away. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Oh, that was so sad. I didn't know that.
I say why this the Violent by Design story might be ending is because apparently Eric Young suffered an injury in this match. He suffered like a torn ACL, and he's gonna be out of action for 6 to 9 months.
They're not gonna end the story then because they have enough fucking steam where it will work with Eric Young as the manager.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of been the manager anyways. I think already. So
yeah. So he's fine.
He may have to be if he had surgery though, he may have to be off for at least a couple weeks off.
How many members do they have now? They have Joe Doring, Cody Deaner, and
Rhino.
Right?
Yeah, Rhino.
Yeah, so they got their trio. They're fine.
But I really like this week actually. So you don't know this. What happened this week was because I think Dina tried to get involved, which is what led to Eric Young interfering. But I really like what Eric Young does. If he fails or if the group fails, he punishes the other members of the group. So he punted. And he actually put the blame on Dino for losing. So he punished Dino by making him go out there by himself and face Chris Sabin, even though James Storm was ringside. We would find out later that was a trap, though. What happened was Sabin won, which I know they probably should have Dino winning, but they do make up for that. But I like Chris Sabin. This is probably me being a mark, but I like Chris Sabin better than Dino anyways, so I kind of wanted him to win. So I was kind of a bit... I kind of let my fandom get... overtake my.
But Mr. Cody Deaner's actually really good.
Yeah, I just like Chris Sabin better. I haven't seen him win a match in a while. I wanted to see him win. So.
That's fair.
But there was a bigger story in this because then afterwards, before this, Storm and Sabin were in Swinner's Palace, and Storm had Chris Harris stayed there to win money for him. Well, that was a mistake because what happened was in the Swinner's Palace afterwards, Eric Young and Doran came on the screen and showed that Chris Harris was beaten down, and they had Rhino lay out Storm and Sabin with gauze and forced, and Dino obviously got back to his feet and forced Storm and Sabin to watch as they beat down Chris Harris, and even Eric Young says like this was it didn't really matter if Dino won or lost. This was the plan. So I do kind of like it. Kind of makes up for Dino losing because that wasn't what.
That was a good cover up. I like that.
Now
it's almost like they know how to book people losing better than the fucking main federation.
Yeah. Yeah. Afterwards, though, what ended up happening is this is supposed to happen in Hard Justice. Tommy Dreamer challenged Eric Young to bring Violent by Design, and he'll pick his team and he'll announce it. He's going to announce it on social media. He might have already announced it, but it doesn't look like that match is going to happen because obviously Eric Young's out due to an injury. So either what's going to happen is...
No, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They have their trio.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're probably going to have somebody different, like, take Eric Young's place. Like, they're going to... because it's...
Batman Fulton.
I would be fine with that.
Batman Fulton makes sense. He was originally a part of the Sanity group that Eric Young led, and then they fucking WWE, the Fed, got rid of him. So
yeah,
you could bring him back to Violent by Design. There's history there. Fucking have him turn on Ace Austin.
Yep.
And then I assume when Dreamer says he's going to fight them, EV 2.0 is coming back.
Yeah, just for one night. Yeah,
which would make the most sense. I don't know who that entails. I don't know who they bring for the ECW group. I know one of them's got to be Bully Ray.
Yeah, that could happen. So
Bully Ray has got to be one of them.
Let's see if he's announced it already.
That's fair. I would say Bully Ray because Bully makes the most sense. Maybe Van Dam, maybe, since he hasn't been on Impact in like ages. And
yeah, because technically he's. I mean, I know he just went into the WWE Hall of Fame, but I don't think he's technically signed a contract with WWE. So
no, he absolutely has not signed a contract. He would never go back there. He will never ever be back there, especially with how much he fucking smokes. Give me a break.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe Dreamer, Bully Ray, Van Dam, and
Yeah. It hasn't been.
I don't know who else would be involved, but maybe I don't know, maybe Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, they haven't announced anybody yet. So.
Maybe Eddie Edwards probably then.
Oh yeah, because he's not booked on the card yet. So.
Eddie Edwards, Bully Ray, Van Dam, and Dreamer would be an alright team.
Yeah, I'd be down with it.
By design, and have Madman Fulton take Eric Young's place.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Knowing Eric Young and how old school he is, he might just work on the fucking injury. To be honest with you.
Well, I did say after the match with James Storm, he got injured in this match, but it wasn't as bad. But I think he tried to work through it, and then I think it just hurt the injury. So,
we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of hope. But yeah, continuing though with I like the Violent by Design storyline though, and then obviously continuing, we finally got the breakup of Havoc and Nevaeh. They had a match with.
Can we move on? I didn't care for this when it started. Don't care.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it. And since we're moving on really quickly, the Good Brothers are having their rematch with Finn Juice at Rebellion for the titles. That's all that's happened. They just announced the rematch. It was. I still don't really like this feud all that much. I feel like it's because Finn Juice. I think they're trying to be cocky heels, but they're doing a weird It's really. It feels like this is heel versus heel because it's kind of the story is they believe, since the Good Brothers are the veterans and stuff, they believe they should be buying the the young guys that are just coming into the new promotion should be buying them the beers and stuff. And now it's Finn Juice is kind of the guys that feel they feel oh, we show that we're better than you because you've had so much other stuff going outside of this. You didn't take us as seriously. Which
are they joining the group at this point? Are they just joining? They might as well. Can they just join with Omega at this fucking point? Because I don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Get 1 week fucking fighting in the goddamn office to hype up their title match. The next week, they're buying them fucking beers.
Yeah.
If they're buying them beers, have them with the fucking group. Otherwise, what the fuck's the point?
And like I said, I think it's been really... I think it's really bad that, not until Rebellion, they're not going to show up on Impact. I get why, because they're in Japan, but that's so... Why put the belts on it? Now we have no tag titles for a month.
Yeah. At least have them cut promos. I'd take that at this point.
They did do, a video package, showing stuff they've been doing in Japan.
No. Promo packages. Promos from via satellite, I will take. Not promo packages. Stop. God damn it. It's not hard to fucking use an iPhone and film a promo.
Oh, I will say, I didn't tell you this. They did do a promo after Carl Anderson's match that year. It was on the screen after the match, calling him out. They it was a weird promo. I didn't really like it. They basically, but they were basically you guys look like you're back to your old selves. I hope you don't I hope you take us seriously, but we have so much other things going on. We may not take you seriously. It's what are you doing with this feud? This feud sucks.
This feud is fucking awful. The match was great. The feud has been fucking abysmal.
I honestly think, I know the sign with Impact, but I honestly think the Good Brothers should just do this match. I don't even care if they win or lose. They should either lose. They should just lose and stay on Dynamite.
There's no other option. Get the goddamn belts back on them. Otherwise, have Finn Juice join the Young Bucks and Omega.
Yeah, it's.
At this fucking point, there's no other option there. Because if you're gonna have them retain the belts, you need to have them join the group.
Yeah.
I don't care how it happens. Have them join. Otherwise, get the belts back on the Good Brothers and end that fucking travesty of a fucking relationship.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck storyline's going on there. It made no fucking sense then. It still doesn't make sense now.
And after the Good Brothers win the belts back, completely change up what you're doing with them on Impact, because it's not working for me. It's really not.
No, it's not. Not after what we've been seeing on fucking Dynamite. Oh, and by the way, They started the story on Impact, if you remember, where they were supposed to be the old Good Brothers.
Yep.
on Impact, on AEW, we see the old Good Brothers. They're non-existent on Impact.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that work?
Yeah.
Anybody in that fucking brain in the creative room?
So,
Like, you kidding me?
A storyline that's been really damn good, I really like it, is this Trey Miguel, Sammy Callahan story. That is
this has been very good. I like it where this is going, which is eventually going to lead to a Sammy and Trey team up.
Oh, yeah. So what happened...
It's been fucking phenomenally told, I think.
So what happened was actually the go-home show of Impact Sacrifice. What happened is Sammy Callahan got into one of Trey's students' heads, which I really like, and it forced him to challenge Trey to a match. And Trey didn't want to do the match at first, and then his student was like, "Maybe you're right. Maybe you don't. Maybe Sammy's right. Maybe you do lack passion." And it led to them slapping him in the face, and Trey had no choice but to fight this guy. And afterwards, Sammy Callahan hacked the service and showed up to the ring and laid out that guy, and it led to the match the following week where it was a very great match with Sammy Callahan and Trey Miguel, where Sammy Callahan won, and I actually like that he won.
I still want to know where the fuck Sammy Callahan got this fucking teleporter from.
Yeah,
where did he get it? I want to know. I need it. I want to go to Hawaii and shit.
Yeah. And then it led to some more stuff.
At least they put a public Sammy. You're a fucking genius.
And then it led to some more stuff like that happening where now it Triple XL was starting to crest in the passion with Trey Miguel, so it led to a match between Trey Miguel and AC Romero where Trey Miguel won. And weirdly enough, Sammy Callahan.
Why did Trey win? Have you seen the size of this? Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I can somewhat buy the whole David wins against Goliath. But Goliath in this case was 4 times Trey Miguel's size.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? How did he win? What did he fall down and he pinned him?
He won with his finisher, which is that submission move. I forget the name of it, but
okay. Fair, I guess.
But afterwards, Triple XL.
Lord knows. I mean, you could be the fat guy with a submission. I mean, Lord knows it happened with Big Daddy V.
Yeah.
That's how the Hell's Gate became a thing.
But the whole fairness, it was the Undertaker doing the submission versus Trey Miguel. Come on.
That is true. Yeah, that is fair.
And I'm not just saying it because I'm a mark for the Undertaker, but come on, it's more believable Undertaker could defeat Big Daddy.
Well, it depends on what the submission was. What was the? How could you describe it?
It was almost a triangle choke, but instead of doing it to the neck, he locks the arm with it instead.
So, you mean Undertaker's triangle choke?
Yeah, but instead of the arm, he does it to the arm instead of the throat.
So you mean a cross arm breaker?
Yeah, but he kind of sits out.
He has his head as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I maybe.
But
I think that is a legitimate MMA submission.
Yeah.
So maybe.
But afterwards, though, it led to Triple XL attacking Trey Miguel until Sammy Callahan made the save, and we're wondering why he was doing this. But then we found out
they say they're Triple XL, but who's the guy that's with AC? What's his name?
Larry D.
Larry D's more like double XL, and fucking AC's quadruple XL.
Yeah. Maybe they cancel.
Yeah.
Maybe they cancel. Maybe one of the X's just cancels each other out or something.
I don't fucking know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he just decided to get the extra X to fucking Diener to make him feel better, or Diener, Larry D to make him feel better.
Yeah, and then eventually though, Sammy Callahan and Larry D had a match where Callahan won, and then afterwards Triple XL beat him down, and Trey Miguel didn't make the save, which I really liked, and which shows, and Sammy Callahan, that's kind of what he wanted all along. So it led to Sammy Callahan coming up to Trey Miguel and says that he could mentor him and he could help him find that passion. But Trey Miguel wasn't having it, so he went to Scott D'Amore. We didn't see this happen on camera, but he went to Scott D'Amore and asked for a tag match. And it looked like this week that Trey Miguel wasn't going to go out there until Triple XL questioned his passion. And eventually he did go out there, and it led to them, Trey Miguel and Sammy Callahan winning. and they actually worked well as a team. It was more by accident when they were working well as a team.
I like how they're building it, man.
Yeah.
I like how they're building it.
Yeah.
It's really innovative. It's really different, and I like how they're slowly turning Sammy from heel in this scenario to babyface. Like, oh wow, he's actually really kind of instilled something in Trey.
They actually brought that story up on BTI. I think it was Sammy Callahan. They said either trained Trey McGill or got him the job at Impact. So there's more story than you think there is there. So
there you go. So we know that.
And I remember I said this, but whoever would have when Trey McGill mentioned, like Sammy Callahan mentioned to Trey McGill that like the other members of that faction, I forget what faction he was in, and the guys that are in WWE now were holding him. They really were holding him back. That, like, look how good he is without that gimmick.
Yeah, it's actually scary how good he is.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's not even a disrespect to the other guys. It's the fact.
Yeah. Other things that have been going on Impact, we have the X Division storyline. TJP cashed in his rematch clause against Ace Austin, but the match got thrown out via DQ by Madman Fulton. I obviously didn't like that because I don't really like it when matches end like that. But it makes me question how I'd like the Attitude Era, because I know a lot of matches end like that. I might not like the Attitude Era as much as everybody else does.
Dude, I was watching. I've been doing watch-alongs with the boys because we're gonna bring that back soon. Backlash one, or you should see the WrestleMania 15 watch-along. We shit all over that show.
But that, in all fairness, that is a bad show though. So.
Yeah. But even Backlash had some moments of like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
There was a moment with Godfather and Goldust.
Yeah.
That's all I will say.
But anyhow, Josh Alexander's also been throwing his name into the hat. So it led to a tag match. And I actually like that, like, Josh Alexander and TJP couldn't get along, so that was, like, to their detriment, where it led to, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton getting the win. And we have two matches set up out of this. At Hard Justice, it's going to be a triple threat tag match where it's going to be Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander and a mystery partner, and TJP and a mystery partner. So that would be kind of unique. And then we'll also get at Rebellion, a triple threat match between Josh Alexander, TJP, and Ace Austin for the belt. I wish they could find a way to throw in Rohit Raju in there, because I think that would be awesome, but it seems like he's doing something else right now. But I think Rohit Raju would make this match that much. I mean, the match is going to be fantastic anyways, but I really want Rohit Raju in that match. So I'm like low.
I love Rohit Raju.
I'm like low.
Rohit Raju has kind of surpassed the X Division personally, but
I'm like low-key a huge Rohit Raju fan. Chris laughed at me, but I picked Rohit Raju was going to be the mystery guy and win that Face of the Revolution ladder match, because I really wanted to see that happen, but it didn't happen. So,
you know what I think? Bring him up to Dynamite, and if Ricky Starks is leaving Team Taz, he's got a nice little tag partner in Rohit.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
That would be a fucking phenomenal team. Dude, their styles would fucking work so well together.
Yeah.
Their fashion sense would work so well. Their fucking swagger would work great.
Yeah.
That would be a great team to add to the ranks.
They've also continued the feud between Brian Myers and Matt Cardona, which I really like. I've always wanted to see them feud, but I figured it had to be out of WWE, mainly because I don't think WWE would have treated this feud all that well, just because, like, they're not high up the card and stuff. And I get it, like, this is probably more of a feud you'd see on, like, Impact and stuff like that. But that's why I like Impact, because they take this stuff seriously. Like, on WWE, I don't think a lot of people, the casual fans and stuff, would take this seriously, because they'd be two guys that, like, they've been conditioned to think are jobbers. So, like, on Impact, it's better. Matt Cardona basically said, like, he had, like, a sit-down interview, which I thought was really good, minus, like, the music that was there with it. But he challenged Brian Myers to one match, win, lose, or draw, and that would be it. And at first, Brian Myers said no, so Matt Cardona was just going to move on. So it led to him having a match with Jake something where Matt Cardona, Brian Myers got involved. It led to a no contest, which was kind of weird.
I'm sorry. I still want him to go to Violent by Design just because I hate that fucking name.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't. I trashed on Impact on it, but apparently I can't. That was like his name before he went to Impact. So that's not really that's kind of a him thing. So
it's stupid.
Yeah.
Jake, stop it. Just go with Jake Diener.
Please. Or just do
it's fine. God damn it.
But then it led. But then it led to Brian Myers finally accepted. So that match is going to happen at Rebellion. But at Hard Justice, I'm actually kind of.
By the way, lovely tights on Jake something. It just says it's black tights with the fucking Arial white font something on it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Why? Stop it.
And then eventually, so we had that, and then we're also gonna get this. I don't know how good this match is gonna be. I think this match might be bad. Tommy Dreamer made a blindfold hardcore match between Brian Myers and Jake something. That's gonna be. I don't think that's gonna be good.
It might not be good, but it's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah. So I did hear that I haven't seen the match. I heard James Storm and Chris Harris had a blindfold cage match that was really bad. So hopefully.
Yeah, that was locked up 2007.
Wasn't that the same show that had that electric steel cage match with?
Yep.
Yeah, it was the Dudleys and some other tag team.
And LAX, the original LAX.
So yeah. I also just wrote because I want to make sure I say it. Fuck off, Johnny Swinner. Fuck off. Am I wrong?
No. Move on.
And I also wrote, I'm happy with Heat Raju is still being used. I thought that. Because in WWE, if WWE had him after he got out of the mid card division, they would have jobbed him out on main event or something. He's still being used. He's beaten. He should be a monster killer because lately he's been beating all the monsters. He beat Sheila one week and he beat Fallah Bahh one week. So I think it looks like he's gonna have a team up with Hernandez, which I guess it's gonna be kind of weird, but I think Raju can make that work. But I'm at least happy he's still being used. I'm happy he has a story. So
I am too, but I feel like he would have a better story if he teamed up with Ricky Starks. I stand by that.
Same.
Hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know how long. If his contract, because he's been. I didn't realize he's been there since 2017. I don't know. I think he's been under contract since 2018, so his contract might be coming up soon. So,
we'll see.
That's everything with Impact. I'm gonna give everything with Impact maybe one thumb up. Just because they have no tag titles right now, so
yeah.
And obviously the stuff.
Some swinger.
Yeah. And they have to
take something.
And they have
get that gimmick.
And they have to fine tune some of the backstage segments and stuff like that too.
And no crown as well.
Yeah. So one thumb up.
One thumb up.
Now we're gonna do our predictions for Hard Justice. So pause. Okay, let's do our predictions for Hard Justice. So this is
hardcore. I swear it's Hardcore Justice.
Yeah, it's Hardcore Justice.
There we go.
So yeah.
By the way, that logo is so much better now. Thank God.
Yeah. So this is. This show was clearly thrown together, but I think this is just going to be one of those cases where you can just sit down and watch a wrestling show and have fun with it. I was questioning why they were doing this the same day as WrestleMania, but I'm glad it's in the afternoon because not a lot of people would watch this if it was on the same time as WrestleMania. But then again, I haven't seen any of the build for it, weirdly enough. I hear the build of WrestleMania is so bad, not a lot of people even want to watch it. So maybe I could be wrong.
I'm not watching. Dude, I've been on that train for the last fucking 10 years.
Yeah. So let's just go through this card, though, and give some nice predictions on it. So, we have Dark Gallows versus Black Taurus as a match that's going to happen.
That should be good.
Yeah,
Black Taurus is fucking great.
This match is clearly thrown together because I don't think it was on here until I just went back on the site. If I had to guess who's going to win, I'm assuming Dark Gallows is going to win just because, he's in more storylines right now than Black Taurus.
Yeah.
When if the Good Brothers win the belts back, I'd like to see this be a tag title program. So,
even if it has to be rushed, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Doc Gallows is winning that match.
Yeah.
Then we have the 8-man hardcore match. We already kind of gave predictions who would be on the team, but we have Team Dreamer versus Violent by Design. Violent by Design is probably going to win that.
It's EV 2.0 with the. Well, actually, no. I could see it be James Storm, Sabin, and Jake something, and something turn on.
Yeah.
On all of them.
Well, no, something's already has a match, so that's not going to happen. So, it could be. I could see it being Eddie Edwards.
Something could still turn.
I actually could see this being like I could see Storm and Sabin, but I could see Eddie Edwards since Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer are cool. So,
yeah.
I think.
To be honest, it might just be Eddie Edwards, Dreamer, Storm, and Sabin.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Violent by Design winning though, because that's the big faction right now.
Yeah, obviously.
We have
maybe something is the fucking fourth man.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe they're gonna change plans and have him join the group. Because of Eric Young's injury.
Should have happened anyway.
Yeah.
Because Diener and see, the funny thing is Diener and Jake are actually a really good team.
Yeah.
So I don't think they should be separated. If you can find a way to get them back on the same team, do it.
And then Rhino, since he has like the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, then he can go for probably the world title.
Oh my God, Rhino is world champion and Violent by Design. Yeah, I'm for that.
They probably can't do that story though. If Omega was the belt, you'd have to wait.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Expedition then.
Yeah. Then we have a Chairly legal match where it's basically a chairs match. It's gonna be Shayla versus Hernandez. I don't even know who to pick for.
What the fuck is that? Chairly legal. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's bad.
That has to be like a play on Barely Legal. I see what they're going for, but it's so fucking cringe.
Yeah, it's bad.
Holy shit. Fairly Legal. I gotta send that to you know what? No, hold on. I'm gonna send that to the boys. I'm gonna actually say that right now. So Impact is doing a match called, get this, Chairly Legal.
If they send a voice message or something,
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna fucking play it if they send a voice message.
I think Hernandez wins. I'm gonna say Hernandez wins though via Rohit Raju interference, I guess.
Hey, whoever wins, do you think they'll just they'll pull a Cena Barrett and they'll get buried underneath a bunch of chairs?
Yes.
It's Chairly Legal after all.
And then who are you picking, Hernandez or Sheila?
I think the chair wins. That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, why not? Then we have a triple threat tag match. Apparently, I guess it's Ace Austin and a mystery partner versus TJP and a mystery partner versus Josh Alexander and a mystery partner. I'm assuming Ace Austin's picking Madman Fulton. I think that's fairly obvious.
Watch Ethan Page just come out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think Father Bao could team with TJP because I know they've been a tag team in the past, and that I actually would love to see Ethan Page come out of nowhere and team with Josh Alexander. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Although, how would you explain that? Because then, what would happen with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page?
Well, in all fairness, like, he could just that'd be weird. And and Josh Alexander's a babyface, and Ethan Page is a heel, so that's probably not gonna happen. I have no idea. Who else could team with Josh Alexander though.
Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, they look the same. They're both bald. One's from the other border. Yeah.
I'm picking.
They're both specialists.
I'm picking Ace Austin and a mystery partner though. I think they're gonna win.
Yeah, probably. Ace Austin and Mr. Putter. Where the fuck's Batman Fulton?
Well, I guess maybe like this segment went differently than I thought. Dreamer, I guess, said like, I thought Dreamer said Madman Fulton was gonna be his partner, but I guess it's a mystery partner in that. But I think Dreamer said it in a way was like, you're obviously gonna pick him, but you get a mystery partner. But I thought I guess I misread the segment.
What the fuck's the point? Dreamer, what are you doing?
Hey, he doesn't.
He's fucking around at this point.
He's never. This is the first time he's booked a show. Okay, give him a break.
No, because it's not the first time he's booked House of Hardcore. What do you mean?
This is the first time he's booked a pay-per-view.
No, it isn't. House of Hardcore had a pay-per-view.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where's Tommy Dreamer that?
Well, maybe
this is fucking around.
It does seem like if you do watch the segments when he's booking the stuff, it does seem like he's kind of messing around. Like,
oh shit.
Then we have the blind game. It's called a blind games match.
What?
This was definitely Dreamer fucking around.
Dreamer's fucking around. This pay-per-view is just a fucking big fuck around thing. That's what it is.
But it's basically like a blindfold match where weapons are legal. It's a hardcore match that's a blindfold match.
Okay.
It's Brian Myers versus Jake something. I think Brian Myers is gonna win because yeah. I think what's gonna happen.
Unless Jake something wins by channeling his inner violent by design.
But I think what's gonna happen is Brian Myers is gonna cheat by like behind the referee's back, like, you know, lifting up the blindfold, that type of thing. You know, we've seen it all the time in blindfolds matches.
Could you imagine if they flipped that story on his head with Brian Myers and have him get fucking annihilated by Jake something who just snaps?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then fucking Matt Cardona has to come out to try to help him, and then Violent by Design comes out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And beats him down, and then they stare at each other eye to eye, and then before the end of the night, something shaved his head.
Yeah.
And joined the group.
That'd be great.
That'd be some fucking great storytelling.
Then we have a weapon. This match is actually kind of goofy to me. We have a weapons match to determine the number one contender for the Knockouts championship. It's Alicia Edwards versus Havoc versus Jordan Grace versus Rosemary versus Susan versus Tenille Dashwood. This is goofy to me because I don't know what the difference between this and just doing a regular, like, 6-pack challenge, because you could literally use weapons anyways. So, I think Dreamer's just fucking around, man. I think he's just fucking...
Yeah, he's just like, fuck it, we're competing with Mania, we don't have to take this serious.
I do think Susan... I don't think Susan's gonna win, but Su Yun is gonna win this match. I think Su Yun's returning here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wait, I don't think he really gave it. What's your official prediction for the blind games match? Is it Brian Myers or Jake something?
Something. Yes.
Okay, something.
Fuck it, I'll go something.
Then we have the old school world title versus career match. Deonna Purrazzo's knockouts title versus Jazz's career. I think it's fairly obvious Deonna Purrazzo's retaining here because I think they're gonna. I think if Su Yun's winning the weapons match, she's gonna face Deonna Purrazzo. Oh, that'd be so good, by the way. Like, even though I hate the gimmick, if she was Susan Yun and Su Yun at the same time, like she was really playing mind games with her, that'd be so good.
Susan Young coming in with glasses, but also paint and dress shirt. What the fuck?
But who are you picking? You picking Deonna or Jazz for this match?
Deonna.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Me too.
I want to know DB and Jazz.
They could do something because a lot of people have been saying this could happen, where like Jordan Grace gets involved and screws over Jazz. But I don't really want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen.
I don't want. I know they've been teasing it too, and I don't get the whole Jordan Grace being a heel. She doesn't scream heel to me.
She doesn't even look like she would be a heel.
Yeah, she looks like the nicest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, she's fucking lovely. Why? Why are you gonna turn her heel?
All right, so we have to. Unfortunately, we got to end with negativity, though. We may get some hate for what we're about to say, but let's talk about. Since NWA's back, let's talk about that. Pause. All right, so let's talk about NWA, it's back now. So we'll just kind of give a quick story behind it. So what happened is like 2 months ago, maybe like a month ago now. All the stuff from the YouTube page of the NWA got removed, and we got worried that it was going out of business. Was maybe we shouldn't have been as worried because maybe it would have been for the best, but apparently then Wrestling Observer, I know you crap on them, said like it's actually not the case.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can. Anybody with any idiot can tell. Report the obvious. Come on.
Yeah, they said like that's not the case. They have a deal coming, and we found out that they have a deal with Fight TV now. They did the NWA back for the Attack pay-per-view, and then they announced,
which by the way was fucking not that good.
Yeah, you actually watched it?
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, and then we had then they announced they're doing this subscription deal with Fight TV, where for $4.99 a month you can get power.
Yeah, what subscription deal are you going for? AEW or NWA?
To be honest, I actually picked the Peacock. I picked the Peacock deal because at least I can watch other shows other than WWE on there. You get more for your money on that, honestly.
Fucking NWA.
So
let's get a fucking package deal.
Oh, and everything just kind of came crashing down, I thought, before that pay-per-view because they started like announcing people for matches and stuff that we didn't even know.
Crimson made his return. And it still looks as green as ever, by the way.
Oh, the worst part about it, the worst thing that they did, they got rid of David Marquez. That was like...
Oh, yeah. The best, the closest thing to Mean Gene, we're going to get rid of.
Yep.
He's going to keep him. I was fucking floored. Hey, Dynamite, get him.
Yeah, please.
He's too fucking talented not to work at a major promotion like that.
Yeah. So then, and then we were already at a loss anyways because they don't have really much of a roster because Eli Drake's in WWE, James Storm's at Impact, Royce Isaacs now is in AEW, and he was like the least important member of, not Imperium, what's the name of that? Strictly Business.
Strictly Business, yeah, whatever the fuck that was called.
And then it gets worse because I think like a few days before the show,
Tim Storm's not even an active wrestler anymore. He's commentating.
Yep. And then
they lost Barrett.
And then it gets worse because then you have a few days before this show, I think, Nick Aldis again says, "I'm not doing business with Dynamite," which is like even worse. Like that was not a good thing for him to say.
Yeah, I wonder why a bunch of fucking people in the NWA left. By the way, good job, Aldis, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
I have more to say on you, by the way, on the next Jay Heber side on episode 3. You'll fucking see.
Yeah,
I'm fucking pissed with you, buddy. Fucking carny bitch.
And then we had the show, and I'm going to tell you some bullshit that happened with me. This is more of a rant on Apple. The show was supposed to be like $28, and I was supposed to get $2 credit back for like Fight TV. And I was
didn't.
No, I got the $2 credit, but here's what happened. Don't ever order Fight TV shows on your iPhone because I think Apple charges you. Because I ended up paying $50 for this pay-per-view, more than what I should have through Apple.
Wow.
So always use your laptop. Always use your laptop to buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's more of a Fight TV rant though, not NWA.
I don't even think that's a Fight TV rant. That's more of a fucking Apple rant.
Yeah. So let's talk about this crappy ass pay-per-view.
Do we have to? Can we speed run through this?
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I say let's talk about it.
Quick, please.
All right, let's talk about the worst thing on this. I want to talk about the worst thing on this show. For the new guys that they had, no video packages on them, no nothing. You just had to know who these guys were. Like a lot of.
Yeah, nope. I ain't got time for that nonsense bullshit. So. Yeah, no. Hey, by the way, remember when Crimson was the fucking security, and now he's just wrestling randomly?
Yeah.
Why?
I went through the show real quick. First time we had to see on the show was Nick Aldis get interviewed.
Oh yeah. By the way, I want to make this very fucking clear. If it wasn't obvious that this guy only gave a fuck about himself, NWA may as well be called the Nick Aldis Show. Because that's exactly what this was.
Yep.
Blow me if you think anything else.
Like, it's also weird because I get like it's unscripted when you go out and talk about in front of an NWA crowd, but he's supposed to be a heel and he's talking like a baby face, and he's like, we're ready to come back and all that. And he's probably the furthest in real life and kayfabe wise.
No, you're not ready to come back. Clearly, this pay-per-view showed you weren't ready to come back because you lost half your fucking roster.
Yep.
I wonder why. Maybe because you didn't want to do business properly. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. So yeah, he cut like that type of promo, and then he talked about Aaron.
Oh, by the way, anybody that was cheering him in that fucking arena, you're just as big a part of the problem as anybody else.
Yeah. And then they talked about Then he talked about Aaron Stevens, and said that he's a very good competitor, but you're gonna have to dig down deep just to beat me, deeper than you ever had to dig before. So that part of the promo was good because he's actually being a competitor there.
Whatever. Yeah, well.
Then we had
won.
Then we had a four-way. Then we had a four-way match. It was Jack Stain versus Slice Boogie versus Jordan Clearwater versus Crimson. I only knew Crimson from this match.
Oh, those names alone. This is what the minute I saw this first match, it said NWA is dead to rights. The minute I saw this, I was like, you know what? I fold.
So can I tell you?
Make me watch garbage.
Can I tell you the? I'll tell you the worst thing about this match is the way they advertised it. Because the way they advertised
it, they just randomly announced it. They didn't even fucking build it up or anything. They didn't give you background on any of these guys.
No, it gets worse. If you read the Instagram info, it seems like it's a tag match, but then you find out it's a four-way match when you go on it.
Yep.
So yeah, the match really wasn't anything to write home about. I really didn't really find anything special at all.
Botched as usual because he always is fucking botches.
Yeah.
He's not that great of a wrestler.
Slice Boogie won.
Slice Boogie won? Not even Crimson?
Yeah, he won.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The guy with the worst name won.
Yeah.
Of fucking course he did. What the fuck's Ziggy Dice?
Oh, we'll get to. Was he on this show?
No,
he wasn't on this show. He wasn't on this show actually.
Where is he?
And then May Valentine, who's an interviewer now, interviews Sal Runo, and they've had
Of course.
I didn't really like this interview at all. It didn't set up anything on the show. Then we had the worst match on the show. It was Kratos versus Tyrus. This match was bad. This was bad.
This was, quite honestly, may it be the worst match I've seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah, it was bad.
What the fuck was this nonsense?
Tyrus won. It's like, oh my gosh, it was bad.
It was Fox News Tyrus.
Yeah, it was the slowest big man match I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, he's neither of these guys were in ring shape, at all. Neither of them were.
Yeah.
And by the way, why the fuck is the guy who's a fucking redneck called himself Kratos?
I know, yeah.
Kratos? Oh, can't wait for Soda to get involved in this fucking lawsuit with the NWA.
Yep. May Valentine interviews Trevor Murdoch about his national title match. I don't remember this interview at all.
I don't really care.
Then we had the NWA World Television Championship match where it's the Pope defended against Tom Latimer. This was a joke because they've upped the NWA World Title time limit matches to 10 minutes and 5 seconds, and this match
this match still probably felt too short, and maybe it should have been short to begin with.
Yeah, but guess what?
This was not good, and it's no fault, by the way, of Elijah Burke. The person he was working with.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, I can't even blame Tom Latimer either because he's probably looking at this as just like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah. And then the worst part about it is like, I don't get the point of this championship. Every time I've seen this title get defended, except against it was Ricky Stark versus Sicky Dice, it's always a draw. What's the point of having this belt if you? I don't get it. Like this would be like if Dynamite introduced the TNT title and every match they had was a draw. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. By the way, like it was bad during the pandemic because apparently they weren't able to be even pay them before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Kingston and Ricky Starks mentioned, like they were basically operating with like very little money.
Yeah.
Especially Kingston. Like holy shit! Like at this fucking point, could you have not just signed them to an AEW contract and then keep them on your fucking show?
Yeah.
Like, what would have been the harm? Ricky Starks could have kept his fucking title. Kingston and Homicide could have came in together.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Does any of this make sense? I don't care.
Then May
Whatever.
Valentine.
It's because all this is a butthurt bitch. That's why.
May
Valentine.
Questions. May Valentine interviewed Aaron Stevens, and he actually cut a really good promo about question mark because he's recently passed away and everything. That was actually probably the only good thing on the show.
Yeah, probably.
Then we had an NWA World Women's Championship #1 contenders match. It was Thunder Rosa versus Camille. This actually might have been the best match of the whole show. It was very good.
This was the best match of the whole show. It was not even close.
One thing we got to rant about though. Barely any mention the fact that Thunder Rosa was just in that unsanctioned match on Dynamite. Like they didn't even mention where the match was or anything like that. That was what the hell was that?
It's Nick Aldis' show now. That's why he doesn't like Dynamite. It's clear as fucking day. I mean, what a fucking carny bitch. I have so much to say on Jay Abrams' side. You don't even know. I'm gonna fucking annihilate this fucker.
Camille did win, which I don't like. Oh, and also Taryn Terrell was on commentary. I guess she's going to NWA now.
Who?
Taryn Terrell.
Why didn't she just go to Dynamite?
I know, honestly.
Honestly, she would have more fucking steam there, and Lord knows they could use the workers there.
Yeah.
She's actually a very good wrestler. So.
Camille did win with after hitting 2 spears. I do question this because this, I thought, kind of killed Thunder Rosa's steam a little bit since she just came off that match on Dynamite, and it doesn't look. And I feel like if you really want to do something, you should do Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb on Dynamite.
How dare she? How dare she have that unsanctioned match? You lose now. Fuck you.
Yeah, match was very good though.
Match is good, but like it's all this show.
Yeah.
Corgan, where the fuck went your balls when you were with Smashing Pumpkins? Where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Where was your balls when you fucking had a lawsuit with fucking TNA? Where are your balls, dude?
They made Valentine.
I can't wait for Jay Abrams. I'm gonna fucking annihilate all this and Corgan.
We could do it today too. I mean, just do it short in a short version. May Valentine interviewed Austin Idol. He announced he's going to be on commentary for the main event. Trevor Murdoch wrestled Chris Adonis for the national championship.
Which was not good.
No, it's really bad. A lot of nothing. Dishonest. I hate to say it. This honestly felt like 2 WWE rejects going at it. To be honest.
Yeah. No shit. And I can't even blame Chris Adonis because he actually is a great worker now.
Yeah.
They had no story.
Yeah.
They had none of these matches. None of these matches had fucking story. If you are a great worker, you can create a story in the ring. But if you're not, you need that story in order to understand where to go.
Well, especially
Murdoch and Adonis aren't those guys.
Well, especially too, the worst part about it is the matches are so short. You don't even have time to make a story out of it.
No
Like,
shit. Yeah, it was like they just like, oh, let's just get this over with.
um,
That's what this whole show felt like. They're back for the attack. More like put me to fucking sleep.
um,
Fuck.
Trevor Murdoch won with a roll up, and then afterwards, Chris Adonis.
One championship. FC. MMA was more fucking exciting than this garbage.
I can't really. I haven't seen it, so I can't really agree. But yeah, Chris Adonis attacked him afterwards and turned heel. Even though I thought he already was a heel coming into this match, but I guess he wasn't. Then we had the main event. I didn't even give a star rating to because I didn't really feel like giving Otis a star rating. It was Otis versus Aaron Stevens for the belt. The match was good, but then all this, I checked out by this point, and I kind of figured Otis was winning because they're not gonna have Stevens have 2 belts since he's the tag champ already. So I'm like,
and who the fuck is he gonna team with now? By the way,
why is his partner hurt?
His partner was question mark. I thought.
No, he won the he won the tag belt with Kratos. Kratos and Stevens are the tag champs. I mean, this is your chance now. I mean, obviously you can do a short version. Aldis is still the champion, so.
Are you proud of yourself, Aldis? Are you proud of yourself? Your selfishness and your fucking ego killed an entire history-making brand. I hope you're fucking proud of yourself. Honest to God, this fucking show was so bad. It was one of the worst. It may be the worst show I've seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It was so fucking terrible. I've seen some WWE nonsense that was better than this. This was fucking abysmal. There was no story going in. Everybody fucking left practically. They didn't get any of their old stars from Dynamite back to NWA, which they easily could have done, but no, they had to appease Nick Aldis for some fucking reason. Because he didn't want to work with Dynamite. Just fuck all this. Get the belt off him. That's what I'll end this off of. Get the belt off him. If you have to bring in Adam Page to do it, I don't care at this fucking point. Get the belt off Nick Aldis.
Honestly, yeah.
A hindrance to this fucking brand. He's a hindrance to this company for the selfishness that he fucking provided here for this fucking show. All it was about was Nick Aldis. Interview after interview, mention after mention. It was all about Aldis because he's an ego-driven fuck. That's clear as day now. He didn't give a fuck about the NWA. He just wanted to be the top dog in some company.
The worst part about it, he could have been the top dog on Dynamite too.
Yes, he could have, and I mentioned that. I'll mention that more as time goes on Jay Ebert's side. I don't want to blow all my steam on this show, but trust me, I'm prepared. I'm prepared with ammunition for this fucking English cunt.
Like we talked about it before. Like,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to fucking be so rude, but this guy pissed me off with how he killed this brand. He single-handedly killed this brand with his selfishness, dude.
Yeah, like I'll even say it too. Like it's one thing. Like if he's not a fan of how NWA how he got treated at All In, like I don't understand that at all because like him and Cody
had the biggest star of the fucking. He was the biggest star with Cody of the night.
Yeah,
he won the title back at the rematch.
Yes. Yeah,
trust me, I get it. Not everything they do is fucking perfect. That shouldn't be a fucking reason not to go in there.
Yeah. Especially during the pandemic when the NWA needs the exposure the most.
Yeah, your fucking selfishness. You're a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell. And then I'm never watching an NWA show again.
And then also we got to do the rant on Billy Corgan for not putting his foot down and getting the belt.
Yeah, Corgan, you're a bitch for letting all this walk all over you like this. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're a little bitch who should not be running a wrestling company. It's shocking to me that everybody that calls Tony Khan a money mark has more bravado and more balls than you fucking do.
Yeah, like
I got nothing left to say,
honestly. For like a year, no one's walked all over Tony Khan. If you think about it, like he treats everybody fairly.
Yeah,
I think there's been times where
he's straight up fucking fired people.
Yeah.
He's fired Jimmy Havoc for being a freaking bellend.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking.
Yeah.
I'm done, man.
And we can say
I don't want to overshoot my bounds here. I want to save it for my podcast. But
I'll just say one more thing. We could say what we want about Vince, but Vince would not have let this slide. Like, Vince would not have let Aldis do this. Vince wouldn't have even let like John Cena or Roman Reigns do this.
No, not at all. If they're the main champion, and then he wants them as the fucking main vocal point, not because the fucking guy on the show wants to be the main vocal point, and he wants to be the flag bearer for the NWA, even though he's not being a flag bearer for the NWA because he's not going to Dynamite waving the flag of the NWA.
Like Thunder Rosa is more of a flag bearer than he is.
It's unbelievable how much she is more of a flag bearer. Yeah. Mentioned every week. Almost.
Yep. Showed up with the belt.
They had both titles around the women's shoulders in a shot.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for NWA. This is the last time we're gonna cover it. I'm not spending $5 a month to basically watch
some fucking Nick Aldis vanity project.
Yeah. So we have to end.
Fucking idiot.
So you have to end on a negative thought, but
nah, it's whatever. I mean, again, I got more to say, and I'll probably say what I said here and cover it in more detail on Jaybird side. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm definitely send me that video, so I'll definitely watch it too. So
yeah, trust me, it's gonna come out. I'm using that show basically to vent, so that way I'm not always venting on other people's shows. So that's the reason why it's even a thing now.
But that's our thoughts. That's the last time we're ever talking about NWA. Maybe on like a retro we'll talk about it again. But we're not talking about anything current for NWA.
No, that ship sailed when all this decided to be a fucking jack off.
Yeah.
So
the only way we will.
Bye, Corgan.
Yeah. Pause. And that's the end of this episode. Hopefully this episode can get out. Hopefully the audio worked and everything. But fingers crossed. We would have wasted 3 hours of our lives. Well, we only wasted 2. Why not 3?
Did you not write down the time of this end?
No, I didn't.
You could do it later.
Do it later.
Just like towards the end. As long as we don't go forever with the end like we always do.
But yeah, we got some. Do you actually have? I think you actually have things to plug for a change.
I do have things to plug, and great news. Owen's getting his vaccination, and I'm free on the 14th from quarantine. And yeah, things are looking up.
Yeah,
coming up good. So content's gonna be coming back in their full edited form. Which, by the way, that reminds me, you have AnyDesk, right? Because I gotta transfer the fucking content over to you.
Well, so we can work on that.
All right, cool. So yeah, we're coming back. Videos are coming back.
Yeah.
In their full edited form, which means fantasy bookings are going to be released finally, as well as retros, watch-alongs, and God knows what else on various different channels. Stay tuned and subscribe to all of us. Because we're in the description. FTW Productions is coming back.
Yeah.
By the time you see this, actually no, you'll be posting this before that, but by the 14th, you'll probably already see content released in edited form. So
yeah,
yay, we're back.
And I'll be like part of it because I know when FTW started, I was like out of the YouTube loop, so I'll be part of it this time, which is good.
Yay!
And I'm excited.
Back.
Yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, we're just gonna we'll be rolling out the content again. So
yay! We gotta also work on your Owen the Talkinator stuff so we can make some edits for those. So that
yeah, because
I'd love for you to do that stuff.
Because we're coming on to CM Brothers 100 for like 400th video or whatever. So that would be the last.
Wow, it's already that quick.
We're almost there, yeah.
Shit.
So
and you're moving that to the Owen the Talkinator, right?
Yeah, everything's going to the Owen the Talkinator channel. So
cool.
We may post it.
So yeah,
we may post like a few things on the if we want, because this videos we started there that like we also want. But we'll put basically everything will be on the Owen the Talkinator channel.
Which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go, everyone. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. Definitely check it out. And luckily, I won't be the only sole editor this time because Owen's got power director, and so do I, and that means I could just send him everything.
Not just powered. I have a better laptop to edit stuff now too. So
yeah, that's fair. I figured that much. So there you go, everyone.